Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever. Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the club. We are live. Today's big game. This is an iconic Premier League fixture, isn't
It's
it?
not.
Newcastle.
It's a myth.
Oh, okay.
It's a myth. Everybody
Newcastle,
tells you it's a
Liverpool.
good fixture. They had what? Two good
Feels
games.
like there's always
two
goals
good
in
games
these
20 years
games,
ago.
though. All right.
Two good games 20 years ago, and everybody now tells you it's the best game in the Premier League era ever.
What, John Barnes and all that you're talking about?
It's Collymore, wasn't it? Stan Collymore. It's Collymore's
Kevin
winner.
Keegan.
Kevin Keegan slumped over the advertising hoarding like that. That was a game, and then it happened again like the following season, I think. But since then, like,
But it feels big now.
Last year was big, wasn't it? Didn't Liverpool end up doing the double over Newcastle? Newcastle got done twice by Liverpool last year, didn't they? In
They
both
should have beat
weird
them
ways.
at Anfield, and then they got
The
done later on.
100-minute goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember Naby Keita, I think, scoring a winner, but I think lately they haven't been particularly inspiring. But this could be a classic.
It's massive because I think Newcastle are closer to Liverpool than they've ever been in the Premier League era.
Do you think, is it fair to say that Newcastle would go into this games for the first time in this fixture in the Premier League era as favourites?
Yeah, 51% favourites. No, but that is a
favourite?
favourite. If you're flipping a coin, you'd want to be 51% favourite.
Do you think it's that tight, though?
I think it's a lot tighter than Liverpool fans would give it credit for. And weirdly, as a City fan, I want Newcastle to drop even more points. I think Newcastle could challenge for the league this
That's
season.
quite an interesting angle to explore with this, actually. From your perspective, so you know, as a Chelsea fan here, this is kind of almost incidental to us. But from your perspective, who are you hoping loses most? Who do you see as more of a
I
threat?
want Newcastle to lose 3-0 today because I don't think Liverpool are going to win the league. I don't think they can.
But you think Newcastle could?
I think Newcastle could have a
Newcastle
weird...
can't win the league, bro.
I think they could. Well, more than you could, definitely.
Newcastle
They're third favourites to win the league for me.
I don't
behind
think
Arsenal.
anyone's going to win the league apart from City.
No, but I think they're the one side with momentum and quality.
Who do you think is more likely
They
to win it
haven't got
out of
enough quality
Newcastle and
to
Liverpool?
I think Newcastle this season are more likely to win it.
That's mental.
For real.
Liverpool have got most of their squad have been there and done it. All right, only once, but
player
that counts
for
a lot.
player, Newcastle are probably better this year, aren't they, than Liverpool? You look at the midfields, for example. Tonali
Klopp
Gamara.
is a big difference maker, though. You know.
But Liverpool
Jurgen
look
Klopp
flat.
is
That's
a
what I'm
big difference
saying.
maker.
I thought Liverpool would be
Also-
amazing, but look at the Chelsea game was
Also,
poor.
look at Liverpool's front line. It's got Mo Salah in it still. You know,
Mm.
if he goes to Saudi late in the transfer window, all right, let's have this conversation. But while they got Mo Salah still in that front line, which has some decent players in there, Diaz, Jota, Hakpo, then the midfield, Szoboszlai looks like, I know, like the jury's still out. You know, you got to say,
I like him.
it's
Yeah,
only been 3 games, 2-3 games.
Szoboszlai's playing well.
But he's playing
he's
well
playing
so
well,
far.
yeah.
McAllister looks like a good signing. So I would still say Liverpool are the better team, especially like with Klopp.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
Just look
agree.
flat to me.
If you think about the defence, who's got a better defence? Like Liverpool didn't sign
They've
that.
got a better keeper. They got
Liverpool
Van
didn't
Dijk.
sign. They didn't
All
sign
right,
that
let's
player
do
that you
player
thought
for
they were going to
player.
sign. That left-sided centre half that you thought they were going to sign. They were sniffing around the fella that ended up going to Tottenham, weren't they? They were sniffing around Levi Colwill, but they didn't make that signature.
That's true.
They didn't make that
Still,
signing. Andy
What is it,
Robertson.
Konate, Van Dijk? That's still pretty good.
I like Konate.
But as soon as Alexander-Arnold pushes on into midfield, Robertson.
But that's because their midfield needs that DM.
It's Matip today, by
Like,
the way.
Newcastle's
It's Matip today.
midfield's probably more settled, granted. But Liverpool need that now. If Endo is that third
Endo.
midfielder, I don't know or not. But let's say he is, then Liverpool have a better team still. Like you've still got to put
just don't
so
think
much
they do.
on
Player for
the
player, I
Klopp
just don't think they
factor.
do.
But okay, let's do
Isak's
it.
close.
So which goalkeeper do you take?
Right, we all take Alisson.
You take Liverpool's keeper.
Okay, centre.
Oh, this was the fixture. Do you remember last year? Do you remember the Newcastle keeper last year? This is where he got sent off, isn't it?
I can't remember what game that was.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Pope got sent off? That was
this game?
against
Right.
yeah.
Quite funny, wasn't it? Centre backs, you still go Van Dijk.
Botman gets in there ahead of Matip for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trippier gets in ahead of Trent for me.
No, he doesn't know.
He does. He does
He's
as
a
a
better,
right
he's
back.
better right
He
back.
doesn't know,
He's a worse
does he?
footballer. He's a better right
Better
back.
right back.
He doesn't know
by
because
distance.
in this-
Robertson's better than Dan Burn. We can all agree
Robertson's
with
better than Dan
that. So
Burn.
it's half and half at the
But,
moment.
no, it's not because it's Trent.
Trent's not
Yeah,
a
but
better
it's
right back than
2v1.
Kieran Trippier.
It's democracy, man. It's simple.
Trent's just
simple
not a better
democracy.
right back than Kieran Trippier, though, is he? He's not.
But he is.
He's not, man.
Well,
He's a better footballer in
He's
total.
not better defensively, all right, but he's still all right in this modern game.
What's a right back's job?
in this modern game, though, Trent's still much more
Trent's
useful.
doing
Liverpool
Trippier's
are a
doing well in the
team.
modern game.
Liverpool are a team that dominate possession, have 60-65% possession against most opponents. So Trent Alexander-Arnold is spending most of his time up the pitch on the halfway line and forward. That's where most fullbacks in these modern systems spend their time. Trent's still ahead of him, man. I know he has these flaws, but I think because of the levels that he's been at with Liverpool, we kind of forget it.
But if Trent went to Newcastle, Newcastle would be worse. But if Trippier went to Liverpool, I think they'd be better.
I agree. The Southgate picks.
All right,
I get why you're saying
me
that.
out, but I don't agree.
Fair enough.
Okay, and then so we said Robertson in midfield.
Bruno gets in for midfield, easy already. Alexis McAllister gets in as well. That's pretty assured, isn't it? With Tonali.
I think Tonali Szoboszlai is still a 50-50 at this point in time.
I think
until we have more evidence in the Premier League.
But Tonali's a Champions League semi-finalist and all that.
Come on, man. Come on.
Slightly high level.
What what are you making the case for here?
I'm saying
McAllister
Szoboszlai or Tonali. I'm saying let's wait and see what happens in the league. We can't judge
But we're playing a game today, aren't we?
All right, I got Szoboszlai.
But how can you go Szoboszlai over Tonali?
Well, I'm not defending Liverpool. I go Tonali. What I'm saying is,
how can you go
from the small sample size?
From
the small sample size in the Premier League, Tonali might edge him. But Szoboszlai has been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been good.
You don't have to
Tonali's had
judge
a better legacy so far in his career.
All right, cool.
One went for nearly double the amount of money as well.
We can't judge it.
Yeah, money's weird as well. Liverpool's money.
But you're saying I just can't tell me how you can make a case for Szoboszlai being a better player than Tonali.
No.
I just don't even get it.
I just said I think he's pretty good on the ball as well. Szoboszlai. I don't think he's bad.
That's
on the ball.
That's not the point. But better than
he's
Tonali.
He's a bit more of a flary player than him. But Tonali's a very good player as well. What I'm saying is, the sample size in the Premier League is so small that we still can't.
That's true.
Really categorically say Szoboszlai is.
But why can't you just judge it on the players? Why you have to judge it on 3 games? Just judge it on the players that they are.
Right, that's fine.
In which case, it has to be Tonali.
I think if Szoboszlai plays at his best for Liverpool, I would rather have Szoboszlai.
That's fair. They are different kind of players, aren't they?
If he plays at his best, it's a weird thing. Well, if Tonali played at his best, would you not?
I think he's a good player.
Okay, I don't get it, but fine.
I think we've done Tonali.
You don't get that Szoboszlai could actually be a pretty good player.
No, that's not it at all. I don't see how you can today argue that Szoboszlai's a better player than Tonali today.
I'm basing it off what I've seen of them in the Premier League, and it's not been enough of a sample.
That is
like playing out in Italy. All right, cool. You know what I mean? It's difficult to compare the two leagues where they're coming from and coming to the Premier League.
Where was Szoboszlai?
In Germany.
Right. So.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's difficult. It's like
I think it's
how
marginal.
many players from Germany come over here, or from different leagues? Some of them fail, some of them are good.
Yeah. What about getting to a Champions League semi-final?
Yeah,
I think it's a coin flip between who will succeed in the Premier League.
I think it's Tonali by a distance.
That he'll succeed in the Premier League in the next 3 years.
Just the players today.
Oh, today right now. Tonali all day long. I'm on that all day long. Tonali right now. Yeah, of course. Salah gets in on the right.
Yep.
Isaac down the middle. Over Gakpo all day long.
By far.
And then it's a hard one because maybe you put Isaac left and you have Callum Wilson.
No, I think Luis Diaz is in this.
Diaz. Isaac.
I think Luis Diaz has to be in this. But apart from that, what was the overall? It's Geordie overall, wasn't it?
I think we're close to being 6-5.
6-5 Geordie. Yeah, I think that's right.
Let us know in the comments down below.
Wait, what did we say the front three was? Salah,
Luis Diaz, Isaac.
All right, I'd still go 6-5 to Liverpool because of Trent.
Yeah.
But you would have gone Trent. Yours would have been Liverpool team.
You can see 5 again.
No, I agree.
We want to win the football match here.
I agree with. I edge with Tonali as well, but what I'm saying is we can't it's difficult to judge yet.
That is true.
On the other positions, we can kind of go, yeah, Bruno definitely in there. McAllister, we've seen him at Brighton and everything.
I think Trippier's a hard one. I think Trippier's I think you just throw him in there. He's a right back. He's a proper footballer. Trippier, proper defender.
Yeah. Who would you rather have at City?
City's
considering the centre backs that you
situation.
have and the midfield that you have.
Any club in the world except Man City, Real Madrid would take Trippier.
Yeah, but that's not answering my question. You in this
scenario, I'll take Trippier at City.
Okay, interesting.
I would whip it.
Even though
Haaland.
But
look how Pep's playing now. Look at Pep playing now. He's playing a centre half at left back in Guardiola. So he wants proper defenders. I think he actually would take Trippier as a right back.
Do you know what? It's a thing that people don't necessarily flag about Man City. You know, when you talk about them, we always flag the brilliance, don't we? Haaland's goals and De Bruyne's creativity and Bernardo Silva's like mesmeric stance on the ball and whatever else. But they're actually George Graham-esque at the back. It's the back where they're so brilliant. Like, that's what makes them so special.
Yeah.
It's all very well to flag everything that goes on up front, and obviously that's the headline. That's more exciting. That's what people want to watch, and that's what people generally want to talk about. But it's the ruthless, stingy, miserly nature of what goes on with Rodri and behind.
Yeah.
They just don't really concede goals.
You were bang on until the 85th minute when Carl Walker tries to backheel it back into play and gives Sheffield United a goal. No, you're bang on. But we are looking like a side that's physical, dominant, and trying to just hit sides on the counter.
You're so good. Yeah, you were so good.
It's really ominous for the league. We look like we're in the business end of the season. The way we performed against Sheffield United, it feels like April.
Because
it feels like March.
Chat, Rory, that you need to read out.
No.
I can read it out.
Wait,
Thoughts on Rory's trim, boys?
No.
Chat is divided.
The chat shouldn't be divided.
Is there a poll in the chat?
No. Can I vote on this? Can I vote on?
You're on the
Can
stream.
we tell a story of your trip?
You can't vote for yourself.
Yeah. No, I vote explicitly anti. Like, I hate it.
No, you can't hate your trip.
No, I do.
It's a nice trim.
You were in the WhatsApp group. You saw.
I wasn't slagging you off in the WhatsApp.
Rory said he wasn't going to turn up today, but
I was going to have 3 weeks to a month off work. I was going to have to just not do anything, and it turns out I can't do that. But mate, I'm actually really upset at the moment. Like,
how
really
did this go down? Is it a new barber?
Yeah, new barber. New barber.
Why did you?
Were you cheating on your old barber?
Well, why did you? Yeah. Why did you change barber?
Just out of ease, really.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't do that.
Out of ease and laziness.
I travel out of my way for my barber.
Yeah. No, I generally have, but you made the same mistake, didn't you, as me?
Yeah, but I was in Amsterdam. I was struggling.
And what, you needed an emergency haircut?
I don't speak
you
Dutch.
couldn't have waited.
I should have rung you up, but you speak Dutch to get me a number 2.
You're the
gave me a
only
1.5.
You're the
Surely
only
you do
person
that
that
with
goes away
numbers.
for a weekend and needs
Gets a
haircut.
haircut. Yeah, couldn't have waited.
You went away for a weekend.
How long
bro.
were
You
you
had a
there?
haircut.
You didn't move there.
Yeah. I was busy doing the club. Okay, I wasn't missing any streams over the summer like some of you lads were.
I mean,
so
you
I was
can book
busy,
haircuts
lads.
in at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Quite easy.
Mate, I was heartbroken. I generally go.
How did you pick
Gaff
this
in Covent
barber?
Garden?
Google reviews?
I picked it. Do you know what wooed me? It called itself a barber and a barista, and I was like, I quite want a coffee. I kind of want a
That's
coffee.
worrying. You want jack of all trades, master of none. You don't want a coffee and a haircut.
I seen a barber in
haircut.
Birmingham and it had a barber and a phone shop. That's a problem. You don't want to be going in there.
That's a front for something else, mate. Yeah.
If they're selling phone cases over here and they're cutting it over here, get out of there.
No,
immediately.
barber and a
I think you
barista.
got a
But
problem.
the thing is, I think that the haircut, I hate it on me, but I think on somebody else, I think
Can we
they've done
put
a
a poll
good
out?
job.
It's Tommy Shelby in it from that show.
Oh,
What's it
don't
called?
say that, Peaky Blinders.
A lot of people
wrong
love
with
it.
that?
Rory.
They can't love it. It's
A lot of
ridiculous.
people love it.
It's really,
What's
it's really
the poll
bad.
numbers?
The poll numbers are bad.
They say it's not
50-50.
10 years off you and you're looking 21.
You're looking fresh.
I mean, that's incredibly generous, but do you know what? I'm putting on a brave face now. What you don't know is
That's Rory's brave face.
I am like dying inside, like purely.
Can we stop cutting to Rory?
pure
Why do we keep
pain.
leaving it
Can
on
we
Rory?
just leave it on
Cut to
Rory?
Rory.
I mean, I'm in like pure pain, like physical
It
anguish.
makes your head shape look different.
Genuine, like
Your head
grief.
shape looks more
Do you
square.
know when you lose something? You know when you lose something, you mourn over the loss of, and you
Is it
pine for it.
Kim
It's my
Jong-un?
head. That's
Kim
how I feel.
Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Mate,
Got
so
North Korean
upset.
vibes over here, man.
I am so upset. man. I am so upset. Do you think how long? A month? Well, how long until I'm
No,
back
that's
to me?
couple- 3 months, 3 months.
weeks. Oh, actually, your
12
hair
once.
weeks. 12 weeks.
Your hair was
Back
so
to normal.
long.
Yeah,
Well,
12
it's
weeks.
not 12 weeks.
Actually,
mate.
your hair
No,
was
no,
11 weeks.
until the shock, until basically this needs to be a number 4, and then I'm me again. But yeah, I feel
It's
very
going to grow back weird, isn't it? Because you're going to have like.
No, but then I'm
Yeah.
one haircut away from happiness.
Yeah.
I'm one,
Are you
then-
going to go back
then
to
I go
the
in
barber
and
and
go,
the
only the
barista?
top, so not the sides today. Take an inch off the top. Never talk to me again.
Are you going to go back to the barber and the barista?
No, I'm going to go back to him because he was such a gentleman about the
Oh,
problem.
God, it's
He was
gonna
so
happen
nice.
again.
He was so nice. I felt terrible. He was mortified. He
You
was
got
more
a free
upset than me.
haircut, didn't you? And a voucher.
I got a free haircut and a voucher for another haircut there.
So that's 2 free haircuts.
That's 2 free haircuts, yeah. And I think the next one comes, when they set fire to you and like you get the old massage and they put a strip on you and wax your face or whatever.
So what did you ask for and what did you get?
What I
When
asked
did
for-
you realise it was going wrong?
The second I sat down, mate, this is what happened. Mate, this is when I get my haircut, I really like embrace the opportunity. It's a lovely thing to do, right? I commit to the haircut. Treat it as like a day off, a bit of a holiday.
How often do you get haircuts?
once every 3 months, something like that. Not often.
Okay, I'm a weekly guy. Yeah.
Weekly?
No, I'm...
Every 7 days.
You know, you're making money out here, man.
ridiculous.
I want to be on the Adam McKola money out here. Fucking a weekly.
It only costs 15 quid.
That's true. In London, it's about 40 quid.
But I knew him. What happened was, so I was treating it like a holiday, and I've gone in and I've just said to him, listen, mate, I'm not a hipster. I'm not cool. I'm not East London. I hate everything about it. I don't want to be that. Short back and sides, but preserve the length. Let's get stuck in. So I then sit down and I get 442 magazine out and I open the thing. I'm like, I love it. This is my happy spot,
read
right?
that on the way
Got a coffee on the way. Coffee on the way, right? Start reading. And then I just felt, woof. And I was like, I could feel like the temperature change on the side of my head. No,
machine?
Mate, it was a machine, but it was a cutthroat razor on a machine. It was like this thick. And he just went
Edward
bang.
Scissorhands.
And there was no hair there. It was like that square was just totally bald. Like literally bald, like the way I shave my chin. Not today, but bald like that. So I was like, and I came out in this hot sweat under the Mac. I went, mate, what? Whoa, like I'm in trauma, mate. What is happening here? He went short back and sides. I was like, no, mate. I said loads of other words apart from short back and sides. Don't pinpoint though. You know, you're spinning me here. And then his mate came over, and his mate was just like, look, you're gonna have to bear with us now. We're gonna have to do this. I just sat there. I was just like, I can't read the magazine anymore. Put the magazine away. I just sat there in shock.
Were they being really nice to you then?
Do you know what I did? Do you know what my first thought was, which I thought gave an insight into her? When it happened, I was like, I don't know what to do. I need to phone my mum. I've got to phone my mum. I don't know. She'll have an idea here. I don't know what to do. But hopefully, it's nearly a week in now. So hopefully I'll be me again soon. Yeah. But look at it. Ridiculous.
I think you look fantastic.
I think you look great.
You're being very kind and I appreciate it. I'm very upset. I'm in mourning for my
I think you should have taken a little bit more off the length of the top.
The top's long.
Top's too long.
Yeah, it's Tommy Shelby.
And then you would have looked perfect.
Nothing wrong with that. It's great.
I say stick with it.
No.
Murphy.
I might end up being a Rasta now and never get it cut again. The trauma of it means I just don't think I can face a haircut ever again.
I think it's crazy. We've got
Sweet
AI
Dan
and
says it
stuff
looks
like that.
great.
We should be able to figure it out.
Paul says it looks good.
They're very kind.
It's nice, Rory. You look like Clarkson, says DB Cooper.
Jeremy
Clarkson?
Started really well.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Footballer. Can't be Jeremy. He's got an
Someone let us know in the comments what kind of Clarkson. If it's Jeremy
Someone
Clarkson.
said you look like the Pidgeotto, the Pokemon.
He just burst out laughing. I don't even know him.
Yeah. Pokemon Ruby out here. Pokemon Ruby, man.
What is that? Who's that?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it'll be shown in the TikTok that we make of this whole debate.
Pidgeotto. Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened. This is another clue when I realised it was going wrong. Do you want to hear the biggest clue?
Someone said Poundland Pickford.
Mate, when I've gone in, this was the moment I should have actually realised, right? I've gone in and the geezer's gone like this to me. He goes, do you mind if I film it? And I went, not really. And I went, for Instagram? And he went, no, for my TikTok. And I went, all right. Like,
does he know
you're
who
that
you
far
are?
Removed. I'm like that far removed from him.
Does he know who you are?
No, he didn't know I was. No.
So he didn't know, like,
no,
this could be...
No, because when I left, there was a kid sitting there in a Chelsea shirt who was like, oh, man, what? And at the time, I was like nearly crying. So I going to him, don't get a haircut here, mate. But, yeah.
When you go back there, is the same guy going to do the haircut?
Yeah, but I'm going to be really explicit with what I want. The problem was my fault.
Take a picture next time.
Well, just go in there with a picture of like...
yourself from when you had it, how you want it.
Yeah, that's quite a good idea. If you went in with a picture of a celeb, who would be the celeb that you would take in?
Oh, that's hard.
As a kid, I did a lot of Beckhams.
A bit of Tom Hardy vibes. I like his kind
Beckham.
of... Beckham.
You've said Tom Hardy a lot today, haven't you?
Tom Hardy? Yeah. I've not said Tom Hardy.
Oh,
he's
Tommy
Shelby.
Yeah, that's
Tommy
Shelby.
Shelby. He's a fictional character.
Tommy Shelby, Tom Hardy. In fact, they're in the same show.
Yeah, they are.
They're in that
fantastic
show.
Fantastic
He's
show.
a good character in that.
Yeah, he is.
Tom Hardy.
We'll save that delightful conversation.
East London, he's like the Fagin character.
We'll save that conversation for shortly. We are, of course, sponsored by Super 6, the great people at Super 6. And, it's been difficult getting points this weekend. I'm not going to lie. The points are all over the place. Popular predictions on this Newcastle versus Liverpool game. 26.8% of the people, and this is the most popular prediction, think Newcastle will get a 2-1 victory today. A lot of people have also gone for a Desmond. I think I was one of them who's gone for them. 20%.
Adam, only 12% of the people, think that Liverpool will win the game.
2-1.
Think that Liverpool, but in terms of
the top 5 results.
Yeah, of the top 5 results, only 12% seem to think that it will end in a Liverpool victory.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into why that's wrong, but 12% of the people think Liverpool will win 2-1. Because some more of the
some
people
might have said
might think
1-0 or
3-2 or whatever. But yeah,
But still, a lot of people
right.
seem to think. A lot of people seem to think all the most likely scores on that
are
draws or Newcastle victory.
Yeah, mental, isn't it?
A couple of years ago, it would have been 90% Liverpool to win home or away, and now the fact that 26.8% on the Super Six app, absolutely crazy. We have to shout
Man
out.
City, Newcastle are probably favourites at home against most people in the league, right?
Yeah,
I don't think Manchester City ever play a game of football where we don't expect them to win the game. Like that's not saying they will win the game, but they'll go into it with the expectation of victory. Maybe away at the Bernabeu, something like that. You wouldn't expect victory. Everywhere else, you would expect victory. Newcastle United, no, it's not the same. At home, it might be the same. It's not the same.
Join our mini league as well. We're so close to 9,000 entrants. We can get there with your help. Get joining. Download the Super 6 app. The link is in the description.
9,000.
We're one of the biggest leagues in the app.
Hang on.
I think
this could be the day.
second biggest.
If we really go for it today, will you help us? If you are not on the Super 6 app, please get the Super 6 app right now. Download the app. It won't cost you a penny and join Club 23. We could get to 10,000
would be
We need
unbelievable.
119 to hit 9K.
Okay,
That
so we
means
need
we're
1,190. Oh, that's too much. We've set the bar too.
Let's hit 9K first.
You've got to believe, lads.
Let's hit 9K first. Go on. Everyone, join the league. Club 23. Top of the league right now is Matt Dorr on 16 points. And he
not many points, is it?
stands alone. I've only got 4 points.
I'm on
this week.
2 points. That's back in Man City to beat Sheffield United. I thought we'd beat them 5-0 on the app.
Mate, I had a terrible day. In fact, do you know last week out of the 6 games, I didn't get any scores correct, but I got 5 out of 6. The only game I didn't predict correctly, Chelsea West Ham. That was the only one. I got 5 out of 6 in terms of the things correct. Do you know what's really upset me this week? Really upset me. I knew that Wolverhampton Wanderers were going to win at Goodison. I knew that. I did a video with Thogden where I said that. I knew it. And on the app, for some reason, because I was put under pressure to get the scores in, for some reason I went for a 1-1. And I knew that
A lot of people do that.
I knew that Wolves were going to win the game. I knew that.
The incentives are so big on the app that I'm worried. I want to make sure that a draw's a nice balanced
I
result.
think I'll be too kind to Everton, and I expect too much.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
It's going to be a relegation 6-pointer next week.
Yeah,
They've got,
Rotherham
Sheffield
next
United.
season to the Evertonians. Good luck to you, lads. Rotherham away. Next
Also,
season.
may we just add as well, Super 6, if you finish top of our league, going to get a £100 classic football shirts voucher.
He's got it in the bag. Surely I'll make that.
Possibly, but there's some people within touching distance, so you never know.
All to play for
We
going
will
into the last
update
game.
you on the winner in the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Do you know what would be good to talk about actually? Like once you have done your Super 6 predictions, once you have downloaded the app, helped us get to 9,000 in the group, joined Club 23 totally for free. Once you have done that, join us for a conversation. Do you know what I'd like to talk about? I'm just going to totally ignore any kind of preparation or running order. Everton Football Club. Isn't it an amazing moment in their history? Like, what is going on? Think about it. Every year, they survive. Like, think about Frank Lampard's thing, right? They survive, start terribly. They survive under Dice. They then start terribly.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
just feels like they're
consistent.
always on the brink, and this season is going to be the season. We will speak about that in our podcast this week, which is released, if you guys don't know, on Mondays now. So make sure you're keeping a lookout for that. Get your notifications set, follow us, and subscribe to us on all your podcast
the main
apps.
man.
Go on. Who's that? Who have you just seen?
Faustino Asprilla. Do you remember Faustino Asprilla? You want to know, every time I see him, the thing that comes into my head, a hat-trick for Newcastle United in the Champions League against Barcelona.
Wow, amazing.
That is what you think whenever
That's
you
the
see him.
That might be happening this
That was
season.
the last time they were in the Champions League, wasn't it? Around 97.
No, they went back with
2000.
Bellamy and that. They went back. They beat Eindhoven
Bobby
away.
Robson.
Yeah, Bellamy. Bellamy scored a
Inter
last minute.
Milan?
Inter maybe. They
One of
definitely
Milan's
beat PSV in the last. Do you know what they did? They lost the first 3 group games and went through. They lost 3 out of 3 and then won 3 out of 3.
Oh, yeah, that's when they played Marseille, isn't it?
I think they played Marseille.
Didier
I'm
Drogba.
sure it was. Yes, it was
He scored
Drogba.
at Gallagher.
No, that was in the Europa League. That was the
Was that
year that
Europa League?
that was the year that Marseille won the Europa League. They played him in the
Because that was the
semi-final.
first time I saw Drogba. And I thought,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
No, that was in the Europa League, the year Marseille won the Europa League, I think. And yeah, they beat Newcastle in the semis because everybody thought Newcastle were going to get to the final, and obviously Drogba said no. No.
Right, the players are in the tunnel, or at least the Liverpool players are in the tunnel. I just realised when I checked Super 6, I did go for a 2-1 win to Newcastle, so I'm amongst the popular predictions.
I've gone 1-1.
I am going closer to a draw now, 2-2.
Newcastle win the game, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Sure of it?
Yeah, although I think I predicted Liverpool to win. I can't remember.
So you said 3 different results in the last 2 minutes.
Didn't say a draw. At no point did I ever say a draw.
So you've never said a draw to anyone?
Never said a
sure
draw.
about that?
Can't be a draw to someone. It's just
I want
a draw.
to check out the Rory Jennings.
No,
Rory
no,
predicted,
no,
someone check that out.
Rory
please.
predicted Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1.
Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. Pretty sure that's what happens.
Newcastle, big statement today because I thought they got manhandled by City last week.
Couldn't get a ball if you could.
They had one shot on target,
Yeah.
and that would be a little bit worrying for the owners. I don't think Eddie Howe in terms of where the side is in terms of their progress because it's very early days. But the ownership would be comparing to Man City and thinking, we got done here. Got done at the Etihad.
Do you think it matters what happens at the Etihad for Newcastle? Is that not?
No.
But you know when Sheffield United play Man City, it's free hit. You know when Luton go to Man City, free hit. You nick a point, amazing, but it doesn't matter. Is that not the same for Newcastle in terms of who Newcastle want to be this year? The points that they do or don't pick up at the Etihad is neither here nor there.
I'm not saying they were bad against City, but I think the ownership was
No, they were bad against City. They were terrible against.
I don't know if they were. I think City were amazing. I thought we were fantastic in terms of managing the game. I think the ownership at Newcastle would slightly get a little bit closer to thinking we could draw this game 1-0. Or at least have 5 to 10 shots on target, and they had neither.
The only reason I would think that Newcastle, maybe fans and club, would be a little bit disappointed with what happened against Man City. The only reason I think it's relevant is because it's August. And if you're ever going to have any luck against Man City, it's in August. Yeah. It's the time. Because Man City have a tendency to go so deep in so many competitions or whatever, because they do that, the first few games of the season, there's a vulnerability to them, generally speaking. Remember when Tottenham beat them or whatever else? Yeah. I mean, in fact, if Man City win today, they will have won, which they did. They've won their first 3 games. That's the first time Guardiola has done that in the Premier League since his first season here. Wow. And that was the year they didn't win the Premier League, by the way.
Yeah, we came third that
I think
season.
Chelsea won that year, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But Guardiola generally doesn't win his first 3 games of the season. So the fact that Newcastle have had the opportunity to play them in that period would suggest maybe they should have got something in the game.
100%. So I think this opportunity now against Liverpool, slightly weak in Liverpool with the rumours of Salah. We'll talk about it later in the stream and of course on our podcast. But the Salah rumours have surely damaged Liverpool on some level. Surely, if your big talisman's being linked, even if apparently he's been sort of saying to his agent, I want to at least talk to Al Ittihad. You know, that would be concerning. Your main man at Liverpool wanting to potentially talk to a non-real football entity.
I think what helps
completely real.
What helps Liverpool is that there's such little time left in the transfer window. So if they just drag their heels,
I don't think so.
They got time.
Not for them.
Time.
They got 3 weeks.
But they ain't going to sell him outside of the Premier League window.
Why?
Because how can they replace him?
If they get 100 mil, FSG will.
No, they won't get 100 mil.
They will. That's the bid.
No,
that's the bid, mate.
They can't
the
pay
Saudis will pay some dough for Salah.
100?
Salah's
that's the link.
And if you look at it as well, they've got the biggest player in Europe in Cristiano Ronaldo. They've got one of the biggest from the Americas in terms of Neymar.
Yeah.
And then you add Mo Salah in there, the biggest player in Africa.
Yeah. It's a bit like when Paris Saint-Germain got Messi and everybody ahead of the World Cup, like make it part of their thing. Yeah, look, Salah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it will happen. I think it would be terrible news, like almost unsalvageable news for Liverpool if he were to leave.
And for the Premier League. Yeah, it's a massive statement on European football. It really is.
But do you not think, I feel like we have this conversation, you know, in Newcastle are an example of it, where we go, they signed this player and that's the moment that we take them seriously or redefine them, or that's the signing. So maybe it was Isak for some, maybe it was Kieran Trippier for others, maybe it was Anthony Gordon or Harvey. Tonali could potentially be the moment as well. To sign a player like him and everyone goes, okay, now. I feel like we've had that with the Saudi League many times now. So you go, they take Neymar there, that's got to be the moment that we take the league seriously. Or they take Benzema, the current Ballon d'Or holder.
But Benzema's last season was poor.
Ronaldo when he's the
Ballon d'Or holder. No, but that at the time just felt like an anomaly. I didn't think... And I remember Cristiano Ronaldo talking, going, best 5 leagues in the world and all that. I was just like, okay, it's not. And it won't be. It's impossible. Suddenly, you go, the Ballon d'Or holder is playing there. He's also playing in the same team as N'Golo Kante, which is huge. Both of those players were in playing against one another in a quarter-final of the European Cup last season. Yeah. So that's
Brozovic was in the Champions League final.
Brozovic has gone. Fulham have lost a player, Premier League club like Fulham, a London club like Fulham. We always weigh in the London factor. A London club, Premier League club, have lost their main man to the Saudi League.
Yeah.
At what point do we go, it doesn't matter if they sign another player, they have already made their statement.
They made the statement, but Salah's a whole different...
the Liverpool captain.
I think the statement comes, though,
Yeah.
after, like, so right now, I think a lot of their teams have got, like, 3 big names or big stars, a few others have got more, whatever. And I think, when the second wave comes next summer, and you start seeing, right, now these teams have got, like, 6 stars each and all that, then you're going to start looking at it like, hold on, possibly... It is one of the top 5 leagues in the world, because if all their teams have all these
top
stars
players,
there, but there's a lot of them at the moment that are joining there that are at the back end of their careers.
But I suppose
the
maybe
game has
that's
kicked
it
off,
then.
by the way.
Maybe that's the moment. Maybe when they sign, maybe when
Varane's
Lewis Hall,
seemingly like the next wave.
you know, like
If
Lewis
Salah doesn't
Hall,
go, he's the next.
but
wave.
maybe the statement is when it's not players who have had their best years behind them.
Yeah.
Maybe the statement is Lewis Hall goes there, James McAtee goes there. That kind of.
But isn't it a statement that, in the sense that, all right, these players usually would go to Italy, or usually would go to Spain, usually would go to America, then if they're at the back end of their career, and now they're coming over here to build what they're doing. You look at the television rights that they've been selling as well. That's going to be televised everywhere. I think it's on DAZN at the moment. But from a Salah perspective, we kind of have to look at it from a Liverpool perspective as well. If he was to leave, how do they cope without him?
Is there a
They
Kane
don't.
effect where they're slightly more balanced without him, and they can kind of
There's been talk
see
about like
for
a
the
João Felix or
the next-
someone like that coming in.
But for the next 3 years, they're kind of a bit more free
Also,
flowing.
Buvey, do you know what you just called a Kane effect there? That doesn't exist yet. That
It's 3
Tottenham
years.
aren't better.
I'm just-
Tottenham aren't
They were
better.
top of the
in that
league with
case.
Nuno.
Yeah.
They're top of the league with Nuno after he was manager of the month. Nuno Espirito Santo. So let's.
That's true. That is true.
He could be
You know all
Salah's
this. You know all
manager,
this. Tottenham are better off without Kane. Are you watching Harry Kane? Get a grip. Like
We're just singing.
yeah.
That's embarrassed. That's Tim Pot, isn't it? But it's just
West
a
Ham-
question.
West
I'm
Ham
just
were
throwing
doing
a
it
question
as well.
out there.
No, I
because
think
there's
it's
a
an
lot of,
interesting
and even
topic,
West
but-
Ham fans would say that James Ward-Prowse got a lot of freedom because Declan Rice isn't there, for example, and he's coming in kind of a freer side.
I'm afraid in all of the examples that you're using, they're certainly worthy of conversation. But there is no upside to West Ham losing Declan Rice. There is no upside to Tottenham losing Harry Kane. There is no upside to Liverpool losing
Just
Mo Salah.
different. It's just different.
Yeah, and not as good. It's different and not as good.
Yeah.
Like James Ward-Prowse, I've always thought he was a
Sometimes
good player.
different can be better.
It could become.
How would Liverpool be without Mo Salah?
Worse.
Instantly worse, but maybe they
Instantly
can
worse.
find a long-term solution. The guy's 31
gonna
years
be-
old. If you get 100 mil, I think it's fantastic business on some level. If you can get 100
No,
mil
it's
for him.
amazing business.
Yeah.
Like they've already demonstrated amazing
It's
business
not
when they
amazing
got
business when
55.
the window's about to close.
It's amazing business in terms of if you analyze it strictly as business. If you analyze it, so you've got 100 million pounds for a player who you have most certainly had the best of. You've profited on a player who has propelled you to unknown pleasures.
Every
Like,
level of the game.
Yeah, of course that's amazing. Like, I thought they did really well getting 40 for Fabinho.
12 Henderson.
12
After
for
the window
Henderson.
they've had, though, with players rejecting them and stuff, you can't then go out and lose
No,
the best winger in the world.
no.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a really bad look. It's a really, really bad look. The only small thing is they got Nunes. He's not really starting lots of games. He could play on the right.
No, boo.
Diaz on the left.
I just
I'm
don't-
just
No,
throwing
I
ideas
think
out there.
no, I like the
Jota and
I like
Gakpo
you
down the
bringing
middle.
it up. I like.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you bringing it up at all. I disagree with any kind of spin, and it's only spin. Any kind of spin around that portrays losing good footballers as good news.
Oh,
It's just not good news. Like you're not a better team without Harry Kane, Tottenham. Of course you're not. You're not a better team without Declan Rice, West Ham. Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
Mate, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ross. I was getting sucked into the narrative yesterday.
Do you agree with me? No, you don't.
No, but there's nothing wrong.
No, in long term, of course, I
you
agree
can
with
become
you.
a better team, though.
Yeah,
Like, obviously,
long
you
term,
lose a bigger
long term,
player,
long term.
and if you replace that player with another 2-3 stars, and your team becomes a better team as a result, you can become a better team.
Can you think of one example where a proven the best player in a team has left and the void has been filled by a better team?
There's probably loads, though.
I'm trying to think of one,
I mean,
actually,
try
yeah.
and think of one. So Gareth Bale left Tottenham.
You're
They
thinking
obviously
of-
didn't get better.
Yeah, that's a high. These are like high profile.
Yeah, I'm trying to
There's
think-
loads of teams.
tell me,
It's
I don't
Ronaldo
know.
when he left Man United. Got
Sporting
worse.
Lisbon won the league after they sold Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, but we can't use the Portuguese league.
No, but
We can't,
the
though,
point
can
is
we? I don't know
teams
anything
do
about the
improve. Teams can go on, and Manchester United sold Cristiano Ronaldo, the best player in the world.
And what happened after that?
And then we still won the league after that, and we still got to a Champions League final.
You were getting Champions League finals with him and winning them, and you didn't win them without him.
But you can still become a better team.
You say you didn't. You with him, you won a Champions League. You lost him, you didn't win a Champions
become
League.
a better team though.
And did you?
Actually, in 09 we had him. Sorry, he left after 09.
Right. And did you become a better team when he left? Because we won the league in 10.
No, but you can become different.
We won the double in 10.
For example, when he left.
In fact, we won the double the year he left.
When he left, Rooney became a much better player.
Right.
For example.
Yeah, but totally you were worse.
Right.
Totally you were worse.
You were
Because we
far
won the
less
double.
dangerous. You went into the
won three
Wembley
leagues
Champions
in
League final and they got
won
spanked
three
in the
leagues
final.
They won 3 leagues in a row
every
and a Champions
situation will be
League.
different.
And then he left and we won a double. Ronaldo left and we won a double.
Tottenham could potentially be a better team this season without Harry Kane, in a sense that they could get top 4, bro.
If they kept him, they
would
would
get 5th.
Yeah, but imagine what they would have done with him in this team. So him and Maddison together.
Yeah, instead of Richarlison.
Yeah.
You got like a 4 out of 10 rating yesterday.
Richarlison is amazing.
But sometimes when that big player leaves, he leaves a void for players to fill. In terms, like if you look at James Maddison now, he takes the number 10 shirt. He's vice captain at the club. He automatically goes, actually, I need to be a big man on campus now because Harry Kane's not there. Whereas if Harry Kane was there, maybe he feels like I'm in his shadow a little bit. I just need to be a little bit of a side man.
Yeah.
And therefore his performances and the way he acts around the club and the way he acts around the
Gordon
team are
against
completely different.
they won't be liking him, will they? Anthony Gordon against Liverpool.
Let's get back to Salah. Do we think he will leave? Do you think Liverpool will let him go in this window? I think he'll go probably next summer if it's being talked about now.
They just can't let him go. Considering the summer that they've had, think about everything that's happened to Liverpool and think about what their aspirations are this season. They'll be dreaming of getting into the Champions League immediately. There is just no way. You've just asked me a question.
Sorry, because it's a key point in the game. Sorry, we'll come back to that.
What's he shouting at? But Gordon taking on, Gordon taking on Van Dijk at that point? It was fantastic. It was Trent.
Trent's been booked.
So Trent's just got done defensively. Interesting in that one.
And then he's taken him out. I think that should have been a second yellow.
He should be sent off, Trent.
But my first reaction to the foul, it was a yellow card.
I think Trippier's a better right back.
Anthony Gordon running at Trent Alexander-Arnold is going to fill Alexander-Arnold with nightmares.
What's happened to Gordon? I thought he was gone as a footballer, by the way. I know he's so young, but
he had a good time
Trent
with
should have
England,
been sent off.
Yeah.
He had a good time in England.
Let's see the replay. So this is the second one now.
Yeah.
He's already on the yellow.
That's high. That's high arm.
Nah, you know what? I thought he flicked his heel. I wouldn't say that's a yellow.
It ruins the game. You have to manage the game as well as a referee.
You shouldn't make decisions based off that. I hate when people go, he'll ruin the game. But if it's a red card, you got to give a red card.
It's all relative, man.
It's not all relative.
It is. You have to gauge the situation.
It's not in the referee. The referee's not responsible to provide you with entertainment, though. The referee doesn't factor in the quality of football. It's nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. How good the game is, or how much we enjoy the game.
Sorry to have cut you off before, Rory.
Twice.
Yeah, but something key happened in the game. We have to react to it as well. People are watching at home. What do you think about how this situation will go down?
They can't lose Salah, mate. They just it's all very well for us to explore loads of reasons why it could be beneficial in terms of finances, why it could be beneficial in terms of lots of things, maybe to the individual, but ultimately there is no positive way of saying Mohamed Salah leaves Liverpool. If Mohamed Salah leaves Liverpool, it is only terrible news. Oh, look at this. Anthony Gordon and Alexander-Arnold are really on it.
Dan Burn just shoved him then as well.
Yeah.
You know, if this is Brighton, Brighton is fantastic money ball. I mean, what we forget about this narrative with Salah, with Henderson I get, but for Fabinho is a bit confusing for me because I still think he had a bit of time to get back to his level. Mate, this is one of the biggest clubs in world football. This is what, top 5, top 3 for some people in the world, top 2 in this country, and they're letting go of so many talents. I mean, even Alisson was linked. The owners of Liverpool, they might look at 100 million quid and think it's great on the balance sheet, but it's so bad for the identity of Liverpool Football Club.
It's so bad. There is just like I think we're in agreement, Booth. There's just no good way of saying Salah leaves. Like you can maybe try and spin it as being very profitable. Signing him, doubling your money, getting the service out of him that you have, and establishing him as a Premier League and Liverpool great. To then sell him and get 100 million. It's obviously great news for the accountants. It's symbolically losing Salah is appalling.
Also, after having lost Fabinho, Mane, Henderson, Milner, all these different players. and not getting, the Caicedos and all that.
But that's the thing,
that will
innit?
mentally
Yeah.
do you.
Caicedo.
They're not
The
reinvesting the money.
message is sent to the fans as well is, I think there'd be riots if they sold Salah.
They brought in
Especially if they
Endo.
didn't replace him.
They brought in Endo, 30-year-old guy. You nearly got relegated in the Bundesliga, and there's a lot of great he's got good vibes, good energy. I'm sure he'd be a decent midfielder, but if it's just Endo
But
and
there's-
Szoboszlai,
There's something.
And
There's,
McAllister.
but there's
though.
something.
McAllister.
There's something bad about missing out. To miss out on both.
but
To miss out
Endo's
on-
the defensive mid that they want. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but
McAllister's slightly more
but to miss
advanced.
out on both Caicedo and Lavia, and then the hat trick would be lose Salah. I just think that
No,
that
you
is just
can't.
unacceptable. It's just so unacceptable to the running of the club.
And if they were to spend, let's say they got 100, 150 million, if they were to go out and spend that, I don't think there's a player on the market that replaces him that even costs 100, 150 million. Like,
Bang on, yeah.
maybe like 3-4 years ago, you could have a sneaky little bet for Mbappe or something. Nowadays, it's going to cost you 250
I
million
don't even
minimum.
think, with the
Like 150, don't replace that.
say they signed two very good £70 million players. I still don't think that two very good £70 million players are scoring the amount of goals that Salah is scoring.
Their whole
combined.
system is based on Salah cutting in from the right, and they don't really have a natural goal scorer through the middle, do they?
Also, if you talk about world-class players at Liverpool, with the exception of Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, the keeper.
Van Dijk's not world class for me at the moment. That's just
No, okay, I think no,
talking
no.
point. I don't think
hang
he's
on,
at that level.
Okay, I think that's probably fair.
Alisson's
actually.
world class.
Yeah, so you got Alisson. Is there anyone I'm missing? Who?
Robertson as a left back.
No, not world class.
Top three in his position.
No, he's not world class player.
There's just not many left backs going. That's what I'm saying. There's not many left backs, are there?
In terms of
Can't give me one at Chelsea, City, Arsenal. I think he's better than all of them as a left back.
is Andy Robertson better than Ben Chilwell?
Yeah.
Yeah, just man. Yeah, he's got a bit more
but
proven.
Ben Chilwell's nowhere near. Nobody would call Ben Chilwell anywhere near world class. So he'd have to be considerably better than him to be world class.
He's had
Is he
probably
better
a
than Luke
season
Shaw?
or two where he's been world
better
class,
than Luke
but I
Shaw.
don't think he's
He's not
playing at
overall
that level anymore.
So Liverpool have one world class player, two including the keeper.
Alisson, Salah.
One world class outfield player.
Yeah.
Can't sell one of them, can you? Like you just can't, like even for the statement, even just for who you are, for your
100%.
identity, you can't sell one of your only world class talents.
It's like when Man United got rid of Ronaldo and what Obertan came in and stuff like that. It
Obertan,
isn't
yeah.
good enough for the manager.
And
And
Obertan, Owen, Valencia.
Valencia.
but got better apparently.
No, but the OGs, for example, pointed out a big one. Remember when Coutinho left Liverpool? They got a whole lot better.
That is true. But there's been no sign for me that they're going to replace the money they've got in already. They've only signed Endo and McAllister, and they haven't really spent more than the money coming in. So I don't know if they're going to get more money, going out for transfers in the time
And the
of the
market
window.
is so messed up at the moment that the 100 million that you get for Salah, realistically, whoever you buy,
That buys you a DM from Brighton who had 40
well, it
decent
doesn't
games
it
with
doesn't-
one goal
it
in the
doesn't buy
Premier
you a
League.
decent. It doesn't
even buy you
doesn't
that.
buy you that. It doesn't buy you.
Embarrassing.
It doesn't buy you anything like that. In fact, like Chelsea's midfield, the two best players in Chelsea's midfield cost 115 each.
Jesus.
Do you know? Like, if I know that Chelsea, I'm not using Chelsea as a benchmark here because our recruitment strategy is totally up the creek and the money that sloshes about is grim. But it's an indicator of what the market is.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, however we want to wrap this up, Salah cannot leave Liverpool. With Salah in the team, I think Liverpool have a very good chance of making top four. With Salah in Saudi, Liverpool do not make top four.
They're a top half side.
All right, we got some super chats. We got to read them. Let's see him. Was Gordon Gekko now Wolf of Wall Street?
That's a great film.
Gordon Gecko's brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Happy with
wasn't
that?
it? No, I'm not happy with any reference to the hair ever. No, I'm incredibly upset.
Trim
Great,
is worse
great film
than
reference.
Havertz, says Fodsy.
That's not true. Oh, do you know what? In terms of
God.
how this season has started, right? Chelsea, I'm happy with Chelsea, right? So that sets me in a good position. You then got Rory looking like a Poundland pick. Oh yeah, James Woods.
You got longer
He
arms.
was an actor in Casino. Is he the actor from Casino?
He's the guy from Family Guy, isn't he?
No,
Yeah, Family Guy. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
James Woods, the one who was
Is
married to Sharon Stone.
They
He's in
reference
Family
him
Guy
in
as
Family.
well.
He like walks
A lot.
into random scenes in Family
He's a
Guy.
weirdo
It's like
in
a
Family
joke
Guy.
in Family Guy.
Oh, really? He plays a lot of poker.
Only 12% hair left on the side.
Mate, I'm very upset. Can you not put all these up? Why are you putting loads of things up about my
Super
hair?
chats, got to read them.
Look at this guy.
Got to read
Laughing his head off in the back. He's just looking at me smiling. He's not even...
What, the Watford boy?
he's
High
not,
jokes on
Watford fan
BT's
over here.
what?
not even referencing it. What were we just talking? I was just about to tell you something. What were we on about? What were we on about?
We're saying that Man United didn't get worse when they sold the best player in the history of the Premier League.
No, you have spun one of my opinions massively out.
Yeah.
I didn't spin nothing.
Won the league
What do you
3
mean
times in a
spin?
row.
You said that you don't
It's
get
a bit
worse.
like when Rory's barber had got back aside.
That's funny. I think if City sold Haaland, De Bruyne, Ruben Diaz, I think we get
We're a
better
better
tomorrow.
team.
I think we're better tomorrow. Honestly, I think we're more free flowing, lads.
You know, you're probably the only side that.
But I'm getting sucked into that narrative because of Spurs.
No,
because I've got a lot of Spurs mates telling me.
Because you
It's a
react
Madison.
after 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's my job. I react every week,
No, but
mate.
it's mad.
I've got a live show every week with you.
People make like wholehearted statements after 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I
Like-
just you see it on
or
Twitter.
start
You see
change,
like
they do like before the season starts, they do their Premier League predicted table and that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after 2 weeks, they start changing it.
well,
It's
I've
like, what
started
are you
changing
doing?
mine. I've
Like,
started changing mine.
You predicted
Yeah.
the 30,
I do a new
No,
TikTok
but I
every
think
week.
you're allowed. I think
But after
you're.
2 games.
But
season's
but
38
but
games long.
Yeah, but I saw
some of the
you.
things
You're not
that
going to
you
win the
say
league.
early.
I can tell. Man United are not going to win the league this season. I can already tell. That's
I don't
easy.
think they make top 4.
I think you'll be lucky to get top 4.
I don't think they make top 4.
All right.
Same with Liverpool. I thought Liverpool would smash Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
So
It was
did
a
I.
1-1 draw.
So did I.
I thought Chelsea would be a little bit worse.
Also,
They're better.
mate, I just can't believe Manchester United. Like I'm quite enjoying it, and you know, watching Mason Mount struggle and then not play is something that I can certainly embrace. Watching Kai Havertz struggle and continue to play, I hope, is also something else I can embrace. But when I did my predictions, I think I was quite kind on Manchester United. I thought Ten Hag was doing really well. Been terrible start, terrible. And Arsenal, although they've got 7 points, they haven't played anyone.
No.
Like the 3 games that they've played, they should have won all 3 of them.
Comfortably, and I think Palace had great opportunities.
Palace
And
were-
Forest should
they
have
were
taken
lucky
something.
against Forest as
Man
well.
United pull it out of the bag against Arsenal next week, which
Wow.
play like yesterday we won't.
It came at a
But if
similar
we pull
time
it out
last
of the
season,
bag
wasn't
next
it?
week, we'd
Yeah,
have
beat
9
them.
points
Was it
out of
Rashford?
12 after two
No, they beat
difficult
them.
away
Arsenal
games
beat
as
them.
well. That's not too bad, you know.
Sorry, did
Here's
Arsenal
Trent
beat?
gone.
Yeah.
Trent's in Newcastle's half here, just outside the box. Poor pass into the middle. He was looking for who was that?
Turn.
I didn't see the number. on that.
But yeah, look, overall, I do think I think if I were an Arsenal fan, and look, I predicted Arsenal to win the league, and I honestly thought they would. I thought they did so well last year. I thought their recruitment was brilliant, and it's not that they can't win the league now.
Superb save from Pope there from Diaz.
Luis Diaz been
Great
Liverpool's
run.
best player this season.
What a
Hasn't
player! What a
Yeah.
player!
Explain what you just saw, Booth.
he? Just
Driving in from the left with pure energy, pure speed. He's one of the quickest wingers in the
Well,
in the
the
league.
way that he drives at
Killed
people and then
Trippier.
beats people is so impressive, man.
Tripper's
Look
got
at that.
killed there.
Pure energy, pure speed is one of the quickest wingers in the league. That's what Booth just said.
Yeah, that should be the
Pure rhymes, Emma.
that should be a banner. Just do you know when you do that? Do you see what he just did there? You know when they talk about like players with take-ons, like this is something that's qualified. No, I've something genuinely because I don't know the answer to this. You know, in one move, so taking on someone is beating a player, right? That's what take-on means. You know, in one move there, he beat about 3 players.
Yeah,
Is that one
I think they
take-on or
class
is
that
that
as
3?
a phase of play.
So that's
Yeah.
one take-on, even though he'd done 3 players.
The new
that's not
age
3
guys.
take-ons.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now no.
I think that's one. It's the phase of play according to.
Okay, so that's one
these
take
guys.
on.
Yeah.
So when Maradona scored that goal
Yeah, it's
against
one
England,
take on.
that's one take on. He went around the whole team. That's one take
Should
on.
have been
Shouldn't
11.
be one take.
No, that should be
I know.
5. Peter Reid twice.
A take on should be like the individual duel
Peter
between
Reid.
a player.
Yeah.
No wonder he scored that goal. He's running against Peter Reid. He was smoking about 20
Peter Reid chasing it. Yeah, but Maradona weren't exactly living the clean, serene
Yeah,
life,
but
mate.
he was different gravy. He was different gravy. What a
High
player.
press from Liverpool
What a
there.
player.
Newcastle trying to play out Salah.
So do you think Man United beat Arsenal, honestly?
If I'm predicting it now, no.
Right.
But my point was, if we were to win that game,
Yeah.
suddenly everyone's going, oh, United look really bad. You have 9 points out of 12, 2 away games, which are Spurs and Arsenal.
Yeah.
They don't look too
Mate,
bad.
I'll
What was the result? What was the result at the start of last season against Arsenal? Sorry, at Old Trafford.
We beat
United beat them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
United
No,
beat
but
them.
this
Yeah.
one's at Emirates.
Right. Yeah.
They'll be
At the
favourites.
Emirates, it's when Nketiah scored.
Yeah.
And they won 3-2. Do you know, I've just thought of the worst possible outcome of next week's game against Man United. Just imagine the wave of and passion and just what we'd have to deal with. Kai Havertz, 89th minute winner against Man United.
Oh,
Can you imagine? Can you imagine
he won't
the
start.
Twitter?
Mate. He won't start, mate.
Do you think they drop Havertz?
You have to. He's so poor.
Do you know who
He's
I think
so
they need to
poor.
drop? I put this on Twitter and I got quite a lot of grief for it. I said they should drop Havertz. I think they need to drop the keeper.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Mate, they
obvious.
bought the keeper out of Brentford. They've got to play him.
Shocking.
We have got some breaking news from Barcelona and the world of poker.
Not Tonka.
Tonka.
No. No.
We head out there this week, by the way, of which we're very excited.
Not Tonka. Anyone but Tonka.
It's the Poker Stars event, EPT Barcelona, 1K Estrellas main event, and Tonka has made the final table.
Wow.
Gonna get a
Let's-
gonna get a
Go on,
Canada,
Tucker, let's
Canada.
go, son.
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
He was 15th when we
unreal.
started watching today.
Yeah,
He
He
was
did well.
15th.
He'd been spinning it up when he hit that 4.
Oh, he
He
spiked the
hit that
4 on the
4.
poor guy.
Yeah.
He is the short stack, but when you're the short stack, anything
It makes
can
life
happen.
easy. It makes
Yeah.
life easy because your
Decisions
decision
are
making
easy.
it easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you could give him 3 tips,
I could give him more.
Rory, what would you want
I'm
to
going to
give
give the professional poker player
him?
a tip on
Give
poker.
him 3 tips.
All in, any ace. Any ace or any pair, go all in. No, from the, he's a short stack.
All right,
Any
that's one tip.
pair, any ace.
Oh, is he
all
short,
in.
is he? Is he
Short
short,
stack.
yeah?
Any second tip?
Don't eat yellow snow.
Okay. Third tip.
What other tip would I
Fold
give?
jacks. Can I do one? Fold
No, don't
jacks.
fold jack.
Definitely
no,
fold
never.
jacks.
No,
You fold
I
jacks.
just said all in on any pair.
Trust me. Accept jacks. Fold jacks. Trust me.
Lovely hand.
Trust me. I
Um,
told you once to fold jacks and you didn't and you lost, remember?
Yeah. But that
Where
was
was that?
That was
Why are you
bad.
telling him? That's illegal. You're not allowed to tell him what to
No,
do.
I said to him,
WhatsApping
I
me.
was like, good luck in Ireland, I think it was.
I was in
I said,
Ireland.
fold
He was
jack.
in
Well, you
London.
did fold jack,
Don't
trust
worry,
me.
nothing untoward is going down.
Hang on,
Collusion.
was I playing in that game? Because if I was, I want you to pay me some money.
There's a reason I went out because I didn't listen to his advice, and I would never listen to
Fold
his
jack.
advice.
No, never fold jacks.
Yeah,
Yes,
never
you
fold
fold
a
jack.
pair.
No, any pair. You got to see a flop with any.
I
I'd
hate
rather play
folding
deuces.
fours.
I'd rather play deuces.
I played them. What
yeah,
would your tip be?
I just said it, fold jacks. Everything else is
Have you-
playable.
Okay, I disagree.
Everything else is playable. We
Come
got
on,
we
folks.
got a shout out. We are in Barcelona next week doing some very interesting stuff with PokerStars.
Buvey's
so
doing a
thanks very
meet
much.
and greet on the beach.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
selling tickets as
Well,
well.
I was there-
Mental.
I
We
was-
told you,
Remember when
you
I
should
was
have
in-
been charging
You know what I
people.
did with Buvey on the beach last year?
Wait, this is
Not that. Not whatever.
What do you mean, not that?
I'm going to
What do you mean,
phrase it.
that?
No, I'm going to phrase it
We
very
weren't thinking
differently. That
anything.
didn't happen.
We weren't thinking anything.
No,
What do you
they
mean
were.
that?
They were.
What
Well,
does
you-
that mean?
Do you know what me and Buvey did on the beach together last year? We did.
You're supposed to make it sound better when you
getting
go on the
worse.
second time.
Buvey and I
I'm not
and loads
connected
of
to
other
this event.
people.
I'm not connected to
Pause.
whatever's happening in this
Buvey
story.
and I and a lot of other people were all together on the beach. Buvey and I went. I forget what it's called now. Winter
Paddleboarding.
paddleboarding. This man is the worst paddleboarder
Have you seen?
I've ever seen.
Right, it's hard.
Mate, I have never seen a worse paddleboarder.
It's like a bowling pin. So if you
I've
his
never.
head to one side,
Mate, do you know
you're
what he
just
was doing at one point? He literally crawling on the board. He didn't stand up.
You know what? I can't lie. Yeah,
Crawling.
I've paddleboarded before, and after 10 minutes, I decided to just sit on it and float about.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And I was really relaxed, and I enjoyed myself.
Did you have a good time there last
Well,
year?
I had a good time because me and you were paddleboarding. You went to a dildo museum, didn't you?
Funny
you
enough,
did go to a-
I actually did.
Dildo machine.
Machine?
No, it was the place where they make the
It
dildos.
was a sex museum,
Wow.
and I didn't want to go there.
Any documentation? Does this exist anywhere? Can I see?
I didn't take any pictures there.
No.
Probably illegal. You're not allowed, generally
No.
speaking.
No, I think you were.
Oh.
There was a statue of Picasso in.
You wouldn't
I
have.
saw Picasso.
You
Picasso's
saw
work.
Picasso? How was he?
No, he'd be 600 years old. So
Is
I
he
didn't see
well?
Picasso.
600?
No, 200 years old.
600.
But
Fucking hell.
but I saw some work there. Beautiful work, by the way. Yeah, beautiful work.
Picasso. Do you mean Gaudi?
No, Picasso's got work in Barcelona. He's from Spain.
But where did you see the work? I was with you.
Oh, I went to the museum by myself.
That definitely didn't happen.
I
Definitely
actually
didn't.
did. I actually did, yeah.
You're a proper sad actor
That
way
didn't
when you're away.
That didn't happen.
What
Like,
seeing
unless
culture,
it's
I'm a
work,
sad
he doesn't
act.
want to be around us.
Guys, if you
Innit,
want to
innit?
see some culture, you're a sad act, according to Adam McKola. You know, life there's more to life than
What
football.
else were you
There's more
doing
to-
out there?
I went
Oh,
to the
we
museum.
watched the Chelsea-Tottenham game, the
Chelsea-Tottenham,
Cucurella
yeah,
Airport.
in an Irish
You've seen
pub.
the referee. You've seen the referee.
Irish
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all the culture. I went to an Irish pub.
Yeah.
That wasn't my decision. It, was,
decision was that?
it wasn't my
Whose
trip. Well, you two lads should tell me. I don't know. It's
Whose
someone else's
decision
trip.
was that?
Someone else, okay?
Who?
Someone else.
There's
Are you going to buy me a pint on this trip, Booth?
Yeah, I'll get you a pint.
Yeah,
I
lovely.
owe Rory a coffee.
Yeah, we had a very funny bet earlier regarding we were watching the
Salah!
Oh, yeah.
Save my Pope.
Hail Mary, Mother of Grace. Blessed be thy womb. Yes. Anyway, we're going to Barcelona tomorrow, and it's early. And what are we playing?
Mate.
5.
5K.
The 5K.
You know what? Min cash on that is just class.
Yeah.
I'm buying
It'd be
everyone
like
trips to
7K.
IB for everyone
No,
in the
you're
chat
not.
right
You're not.
now.
You're a liar.
Everyone
You're
in the
a liar.
YouTube chat right now. Listen now.
You're a liar.
Join the
Liar,
Super
bro.
6. Join the Super 6 mini
No,
league
you're a
Club
liar.
23.
I'm
If you're in
still
it
waiting
right
to go
now,
IB for
if
with
I
this fool.
cash in the Barcelona EPT, if you're in the Super 6 mini league Club 23, I'm getting you to IB, lads. Okay?
He's
I'm getting
lying.
you to IB.
Have we hit the 9K in the Super 6? Has anybody checked lately? Have
I
we
will
hit
check.
the 9,000? If we haven't, I'm going to be so upset. I'm so
140.
upset
What have
about
you
my
made of
hair
the game
already.
so far, Buvey?
Oh,
End-to-end
absolutely love
stuff.
it, mate.
Newcastle
End-to-end.
a little bit better.
Trippier proving why he's a better right back than Trent Alexander-Arnold. What number are we on?
No,
Trent
we
had-
haven't made it.
We're 85 away.
85. That's all right.
We're
That's all
85
right.
away.
That's all right.
Trent had
Patience.
some good defensive
All right,
efforts
Gary
against
Barlow.
Anthony Gordon. Although Anthony Gordon, do you guys rate him?
He's getting
Oh,
better.
I'll tell you
Gordon's
in a minute.
goal.
I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you. Rated him. Always rated him. Always rated him. Oh, I was never going to miss.
Have you ever
Always
rated him?
rated him.
Inside
Andy
from Adam
Gordon.
McKola.
Andy Gordon always rated him. What about you?
finish.
What about you?
What finish.
And Trent made the mistake. It's an all scouts. It's an all scouts goal, isn't it?
Adam McKola. Fucking
It's an
hell.
all scouts goal.
So good.
Oh,
this is shocking.
You would have got a million. views
Everybody,
on it.
it's everybody.
Salah gives the ball back to
gosh.
Trent. Poor control.
Trent.
It's a good finish from
Gordon.
Gordon. He could have
Could
bottled
the
that.
keeper have done more, do you think?
I don't know if it's a
Did it not
really
go through the keeper?
No, but it's low and close to his body. It's a hard save.
Hang on, Booth.
Ridiculous.
Just reevaluate, I'm sure.
No,
Through the legs.
Yeah, it's impossible.
What, you don't think you don't hold
Keeper
the...
don't shut his legs there. It happens all the time.
Not sure.
Trust
I
me,
think
it's
you're
a
being very
really
kind.
good finish.
Oh, Trenty.
What I was about
Look
to
at the
say.
desire.
just before-
FC20. What
Was-
have you done?
I have always rated Anthony Gordon and Trent.
You were
shocking
slagging him off.
defensively.
And by the
What is
way,
he
I was saying at the start of the stream, he's fantastic. By the way, rewatch
Stop
the
saying,
stream.
by the way.
I'm saying I backed him at the start of the stream before
the
he
way.
even scored.
No,
okay?
no.
By the way, you absolutely
What-
got a
why did you
stinker
say,
today.
have you got
Stop
Tourette's?
saying, by the way.
BTW.
What?
You don't stop saying by the
Well,
way.
I'm trying to bring it back to the point when I backed Gordon.
By the way, it doesn't add anything to a conversation.
Yeah.
it does.
No.
It never does. No.
By the way, it means it's like you're adding something, a secondary topic.
Exactly. So say the sentence without by the way, it still makes exact sense.
Okay.
Do you know what I was always told? You should never use the word. You should never
Short back
use
and
the
sides
word.
around your barber.
No, never do that. I'll never do that one again. That's a rule. That's a tip. I'll take that one from the top.
But yeah, go on,
No,
sorry.
do you know what you should never do? In talking like linguistically, you should never use the word very, because if you use the word very, it just means that you aren't. You need to use a word
What's
that
the- what-
means.
give me an example.
Say you would say I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Just use a word that means very happy.
Well, extremely.
No, don't know. Use a word that means very happy.
Oh, like
Ecstatic.
yeah, but I'm not ecstatic.
But
What if I'm
you find the word
What if
that
I'm-
means you don't
What
have
if
to
you're
use
very hungry?
starving?
Yeah.
What if you're very...
You should always be able
Yeah,
to
but
use
excited.
ecstatic's 10 out of 10. Happy's 6 out of 10.
Oh.
Very happy 7
Red
out of 10.
card.
card.
Wow.
Liverpool down to 10 men.
Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk sent up.
Verge.
It goes from bad to worse for
Hey,
Liverpool.
Klopp's out to Saudi
Jurgen
Arabian
Klopp
League.
has lost.
Hey, Liverpool.
his
Klopp's on the
head.
first flight to Saudi Arabia tomorrow, mate. He's managing our
Mohamed Salah's on the phone now. Yeah. I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. And Deck coming to get him.
$1 million a week. $1 million a week.
I heard it was 1.5.
Did they get taxed over there? Nah.
Nah.
No tax.
No, but you have to stay there for 2 years.
52
Yeah.
mil.
Or you come back and you pay the tax.
You've done your research about that. Wow.
So let's have a look at this again.
Oh,
Was it a
gosh.
red card?
Liverpool
Virgil
season-
van Dijk is in a straight red. You very rarely see.
Liverpool's
What are
season,
they
not
checking?
necessarily on the pitch, just
Overtime.
Liverpool's whole season couldn't have gone worse.
Oh, shocking.
It's been terrible for them, hasn't it?
They should have beaten you, really, as well.
Well,
Yeah,
they
it was-
could have been beaten by us, though.
Yeah, it
They
was a
could have
bit
been
end to end, but
they
I
had
think
that goal.
should have
I think Salah had a goal disallowed, didn't he? That changed the game. But yeah, they could have gone 2-0 up against
Well,
us.
they had a
Pretty
fortunate win the other day. Not fortunate, but, you know.
No, but just thinking
bit
about the
lucky in that
Lavia
win.
thing,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Caicedo thing, just everything. This
Oh.
That's not a red, though, is it?
it is a red.
It
You
is a
can't
red.
go through the man
It's
to
a
get
red.
the ball. Don't tell me he
If
got
he
the
doesn't
ball.
get
there.
the
No, I'm not saying that, but
He's
Oh,
taken,
ooh.
he's taken a shortcut through
One
the
sec,
man.
one
Of
sec.
course
a
he's
red, though.
Does his leg go through?
Foul on
his
his
going
leg?
on goal. Look,
He's too far
Because
away
he
from
does
goal.
get a touch on the ball. He does get a touch on the ball, I think.
I need to see it a bit slower.
I need to see that again. No, he's told him to go. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
told him to go.
it's a red card. I don't need any
I
more
don't know
angles
if
like you
that's
two.
red
I think
because
it's
you
a
know
red
what
card.
it was, bro. You
think
kind of see his leg hit the ball through Isaac's leg.
But you can't go through Isaac's leg. You
No,
can't take a
that's the
shortcut.
question. If he's gone through his leg, it's a foul.
Yeah.
You can't-
I read
you should
that.
send him
Do
off
you hear what you
again.
said there?
Should send him
You
off
said
again.
you're an effing joke.
Yeah, send him off again for that, ref.
Yeah, Van Dijk's
Six
gone.
game.
Van Dijk's gone. He doesn't
This
do that
could
for
get
years.
real
All the
messy
talk,
because
all the
Liverpool
talk.
won't sit back.
They will.
They have to now.
They will.
They'll try and attack.
All the talk of Virgil van Dijk, Premier League best ever, is just over, isn't it?
It's
It was
embarrassing.
over ages ago.
No, I don't think it should have ever started.
Whoever's on that
Yeah.
train, everyone on Liverpool Twitter, you should be absolutely ashamed
But
of
it
yourself.
wasn't just Liverpool fans.
There's a lot of
It was a lot of-
neutral fans
yeah.
and all that crazy.
And like pundits and shit. But that's it. Is everyone gets caught in the moment, innit? Like, and also they want everything to be the best thing ever right now. Because then it makes what they're doing right now.
I'll say something
better.
that's not crazy. And this is real talk now. Real talk. Ruben Diaz.
All right.
Hang on.
Ruben
hang on,
Diaz
let me
is
just
a
get
better-
ready for it. Hang on.
Ruben
Okay,
Diaz.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
okay.
Ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ruben Diaz has got a better Premier League legacy than Van
Oh, they
Dijk.
got the ball completely. Oh my god, he completely got the ball. Have you just seen that? No, you're right about
Wait a minute,
Diaz.
you were
but
saying,
mate,
you were saying red
no,
card.
I've just seen a very slow mo.
He got the ball. At worst, it's a yellow. At worst, it's a yellow.
It's not a foul. It's not yellow.
But if you say it's a clumsy foul,
No, it's not. It's not.
if you
clumsy foul.
do,
He completely got the ball.
if you
You
do,
reckon
it's
that
a
gets
yellow.
overturned?
He completely got the ball. That gets overturned.
They had one already
But they
overturned,
checked
didn't they? Alexis
check it?
McAllister.
Do you know what happened?
happened?
The refs probably mates or something like that. The refs
How do
mates
they
with the
check?
VAR,
How do
mate.
they?
Mate, it's going
Mike
to be
Dean was
hilarious.
on
If
Scott.
Trippier pings this in
Saturday.
now, I'm going potty.
Oh, I can't wait.
If Trippier
Come
pings
on,
this in,
Trips.
I am going mental. Come on, Trips. Come on, Trips.
Come on.
I'll tell you, Trips are a very difficult hand. Would you go all in, if someone goes all in on,
Yeah, shove it.
if you've got
Shove it.
Trips,
Yeah.
but there's a flush out there,
If
and someone goes
I
in,
hit
you
a
call
pair
it.
of deuces in Barcelona, I'm going all in. I don't
You got
care.
Trips. There's a flush out there. Do you?
What's the flush? 3 cards.
3 only.
Still.
You go in with your Trips.
I kind of go, if you've got it, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on,
Oh, it's shocking.
Oh,
It's free
shit,
kick.
that.
ping it.
Pink.
That's corner ref. I really want this to end 5-0.
I still want it to end a draw.
Yeah, I want 6-0.
You want both teams to drop points.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you
There's nothing good about, like, you always have to make hay when the sun shines. So when it's not going someone's way, you've got to kick them when they're down. It's a good principle.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
This is a hard game now for Liverpool. Crazy how bad the start of the season's gone.
Crazy.
Crazy, isn't it, man?
Very crazy.
Crazy. Crazy. Free header in the back. Oh, you big lummox. You've got to pick someone out of that. Just knock it back into the keeper's arms. Pillock.
What's he doing there?
Do you reckon, like, if Salah don't take the $1 million a week, like every week, how much
handball.
is he earn at the moment? Like 300 grand.
315, yeah.
Like every week, he just feels like he's
What,
lost
750 down
700,000.
here? Yeah.
Just takes the shine up his
Yeah.
already very handsome
You
wage.
think your skin? I'm £650,000 lighter than I should be every week. Yeah.
What's Henderson on? 700?
Like that.
I think he.
But you know what I find
yeah.
mad? How did they get to 700 for Henderson? You could have got him out of there at 350, bruv.
No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't.
He-
It's a lifestyle change. He has to go home to Mrs. Henderson and goes,
Okay,
I've got some
they could
news.
have got him out of there for 500. How have you ended up at 700 is my point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so many
I think they make
stocks
up as they go
where-
along, mate.
Realistically, if Jordan Henderson left Liverpool and went to another Premier League club, a splashy club, spend the money. What would his next contract
No
have been?
splashy club gives him a big contract.
150.
Not a Jordan Henderson.
He's worth 150 in the Premier League.
Is there another
For a
club
year.
in Europe where he would get 400 grand?
No.
Not in the whole of Europe.
He doesn't get 200 grand a week at Liverpool.
No, I know.
Don't
So
pay-
Maybe if
double
it was
that is my
Monaco,
point.
the Monaco side that had all that money with
Morientes,
Mbappe.
isn't it?
No, after that when they had all that money, and then that side in Russia, remember?
Angie
Angie
Yeah.
Makakala, whatever it was called.
I think they got Peter Ridsdale working over in Saudi. They're just going,
Yeah.
People are going in there expecting 5 grand, and he's going, it's 35 bags.
When they play in the Champions League, they then have if they end up getting into the Champions League, which I think is highly likely, that's when everyone goes. don't you think?
I'd move on
at
from
that
football.
at that
Move on
point does Isak go?
Yeah, they all go. It's gone. I refuse to watch football if that happens.
Do you really?
Yeah, unless they call it the Super League. Fair play. It's a global league.
Do you not think it just
But if they
becomes
join, if they join the Champions League, it's like Eurovision. Why is Australia in Eurovision?
yeah, but
crazy.
you still watch and enjoy Eurovision, don't you?
No, I don't. Not
absolutely
anymore.
You still watch and enjoy Eurovision.
No.
Did
After
you-
that.
Do you watch the Champions
When
League
does
and
this
enjoy
become
it?
a thing?
So
by the way?
so is your issue with the geography? What's your issue with defining Europe? Is it the land mass of
Are
Europe?
you talking about Israeli clubs? Because
Well, Israeli clubs
some
are an
people
example.
consider Israel part of Europe. Don't
But
they?
you can't.
It's not. It's the middle.
Have you seen a map before?
So why are they in it then?
It's just
That's
political
the
reasons, really,
question.
isn't it?
I thought they were sort of
No, it's literally
considered kind of European on
no,
some
no,
political
it's like next
grounds.
to Jordan.
Okay.
It's impossible to argue that Israel is in Europe. There's no like Turkey. Turkey partly is in Europe,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah,
make the
fine,
case.
fine.
Russia, obviously, partly is in
Russia.
Europe.
Yeah.
There is nothing about Israel as a territory in the continent of Europe. Is that
fine? I'll have to review what I've just said then about Saudi
clubs
Arabia.
shouldn't be in the Champions League. Maybe like
No, but they will be.
no, but they shouldn't. Not in the UEFA Champions League. Obviously, they have their own Champions League.
Oh, he's burned him up again.
You got
Gordon's
the
got
Club
so
World
much
Cup.
confidence.
Gordon is taking a piss.
I think they should just make the Club World Cup bigger and better and more of a thing.
No, it'd be the Champions League because of the
No, it
prestige.
shouldn't.
You end up playing some side from Mexico and all that. With all due respect.
Why do people? Obviously, they'd probably do it in like
What-
Switzerland or somewhere. So teams wouldn't have to.
Do you want me
travel
to? I'll give you a spoiler of how
Saudi Arabian
Somali-
teams should not.
I'll give you a spoiler of what happens. The Saudi league is going to make such a statement, and this issue with their window not coinciding with our window. At some point, European clubs are going to want their window to match our window, so they're going to go, okay, so effectively you're making us a European. We're abiding by European law, right? So European football law becomes part of Saudi. They go, okay, then fine, we're in the Champions League. And then once they're in it, then there's no reason to go. Once you have a Saudi team playing in it, why the Inter Miami? Oh,
Wow.
what a save! How do you keep Inter Miami out of it once Al Hilal were in
I
it?
think we know where it was going when the Super.
Mate,
the Super
what a
League
save
was
this
made.
is! Brilliant hit by the way.
And then what? When?
Oh, what a save!
Oh.
Keeper Alisson!
Onto the
Oh my
bar.
God!
And then what? When they
Almiron.
let all the big players go, do we just go? All right, this is over.
No, I think you embrace it.
Nah, it can't be done.
Embrace
Shouldn't be
what?
done. Shouldn't be allowed.
You make your peace with it.
Shouldn't be allowed. Also, then wouldn't they have to be responsible for FFP and all that shit?
They would then potentially have to. Yes, they would then have to.
It's never going to happen. Unless they.
Well, it's
can
never going to happen.
flagrantly break the rules.
A Saudi club joins the European competition.
Or at least it shouldn't happen.
No, I agree with you, but it will happen.
Such a good
unfortunately.
save from the keeper. How's he kept that out?
It's a bit
it's
like when
world
people
class.
go, should Scotland and Celtic and Rangers come in the Premier League? As much as I'd love that,
No, it would destroy the
doesn't
Scottish
make-
League
it
as well,
doesn't make-
wouldn't it?
doesn't make
It already is terrible. They're the
Yeah,
worst
I know.
sides in Champions League history last season, weren't they? A couple of them.
Yeah. Do you know where I saw?
Both of them.
Do you know where they were? They were just
Celtic and
below.
Rangers, bigger than City. Mad.
They were just below the SPL was just below the Saudi League, which was like 600th.
Oh, yeah.
In like the
Al
ranking.
Nazir would win the SPL with 150
No, they
points.
wouldn't.
they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
No, they
What?
wouldn't.
Are you joking?
Al Hilal would. Al Hilal have a better team.
Al
than-
Hilal-
Al Hilal have a better
Neymar
team
up
than
front.
Rangers.
No, Rangers under.
No, but today.
Don't go back. No, don't go
Yeah,
back
you
to
can't
the
start talking about
Europa League and all that.
Loudrup and Mark Haitley and McCoy.
What are you
Under
gonna
Steven Gerrard, they had a decent run in Europe.
Yeah,
Remember?
they did.
And
But I
Celtic
still-
have always.
Mate, their
Celtic-
best player, their
Celtic
best
have
player is
always
James
had,
Tavernier,
like,
who scores all his
decent runs.
penalties. Mate, he's not good enough for the championship.
I don't think
Tavernier.
Al Nassr beat any group stage Champions League team.
Al Nazir.
I think Al Hilal
beat
would win
Liverpool.
the
Al Hilal, who's in Al Hilal's team?
Kante. Oh no.
Al Hilal's the blue one.
Al
So
Hilal.
you've got Brozovic,
no, it's,
Neymar.
The blue ones.
No, but I don't know. I
That's the
don't
tip
know.
top.
It's the blue one. It's
No.
Neymar up front,
But the
Brozovic in
thing is,
midfield.
the rest of their
Savic.
players are dog.
Oh.
Yeah, but so it's same in Scotland. No offense. No offense to the Scottish.
You know, having to think about this red card, yeah. It's probably evened itself out because Trent should have went in it.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Trent should have gone.
Yeah.
Although actually, I kind of thought it wasn't a red in the end for Trent.
I don't know how they've gone to VAR and made that decision still. They've still gone to VAR and made the wrong decision. How?
I don't think they've seen that angle that we all seen very clearly.
They have. They just made
You
a
know,
bad decision.
do you know how many screens they've got?
They have.
They've got
They've
40
seen every.
screens.
There's no way that we have a better coverage than the VAR crew.
It's like Dixon's in there. They've got 40 LCD screens in there and they can't get it right.
Ahmad Doshan says he clearly tripped Isaac before he touched the ball.
Oh, here we go.
100%
Excuses. The excuses brigade. Here they are. Join our YouTube stream. Come on. It's embarrassing.
How many people are watching the stream, Jack?
4,500 at the last check.
How many likes do we have?
We have 121.
That's just not enough.
if I'm correct.
Can you make that 200, please? I just want to see if it has any impact.
Oh, it's 475. Sorry, mine
right.
wasn't up to date.
Right, you've got to refresh before you.
Can
give me
you make
info.
it?
False info, otherwise.
Can we
Can
make it 1,000?
1,000?
Yeah, go on.
Do you know I did a video with Thogden?
You said that twice today. What
I'm telling
was
you
he
different
paying you? Are
information.
you in his pocket or
I'm
something?
doing
You just said that
different
twice
different
on the
information.
street.
I told you one story.
What, is
and I'll tell you
Fogden part
another.
of this deal? What?
I'm telling you some
Is
more
Thogden
information.
getting paid?
You've now said his name more
Shout
than
out
me.
to Fogden.
There you go. Well
Yeah,
done.
check out Thogden.
Anyway, listen to this. He did a like target, which is why I'm now trying it.
Yeah.
And it was amazing the amount of impact that it had.
Yeah.
So now let's see if this can get to 1,000.
Right, shout out Thogden. Rory was on Thogden's channel.
Started like targets.
He did like target. Yeah.
Why don't we do that?
Welcome to the world of YouTube.
Well,
Rory.
is he not the only?
I think like everybody does it, right?
Do you?
I used to. I can't be honest.
We've never done it on this. I've never ever done.
People go like, "Okay, we're gonna try and get to 5,000."
Yeah, he did that, and it like doubled what we hoped it would get to.
Yeah, because call to actions are very
Okay,
impactful.
can you
even
try
though
and get
you
this
think
to
they're not.
1,000 likes, please? Jack, let me know if we get
Stare at them till it
there.
goes
Just
to
know you
1,000.
say a word until it gets to 1,000. We on 1,000? Go on. How many? 919. Okay, don't say anything. There is no show until we hit 1,000 likes, no matter what. But you don't. There is no show. Even if someone scores from the halfway line, there is no show.
We've hit 1,000.
Have we? Yes! Thank you! See, it works.
We should do that
We
with
should do that
Super
every
6.
stream.
We need to do it for Super 6.
What
So
do
they're
you
joining our mini league, Club 23,
I
on the
think-
Super 6 app.
I think Super 6 like the fact that we kind of talk and stuff on here as well.
Yeah, but I think they like.
Nobody say a word.
Oh,
Mate, this has
Join
been
our
a great
league, Club
game.
23.
We're in the 40th minute already. I must say, chaps, I've had a really good time here because the game's flying by. I didn't realise 40 minutes in. You two have been excellent company today.
oh, thanks, mate.
And thank you to everybody watching. You've also
Sorry.
been excellent. Oh, whoa. Oh, good touch, bro. My
What
God.
touch was that?
My God.
I think he thought he was offside.
I think he thought the keeper was behind him when he could have actually just
that
turned on
touch
it.
was shocking.
Heavy
Cart
touch.
horse.
Heavy.
Oh, that's a
Oi,
great pass
Gordon's
by Joe
running the
Linton.
game. Gordon's running the
God, we need
game.
to come out here. Come and get Alexander Arnold.
Shoots
Come on,
now, shoot.
Alexander
I
Arnold.
think he's trying to get the toughies back in his good books on it.
I want. Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh,
crap.
he's
ball.
overhit it.
Oh, my God.
Tripped on that. How's tripped? I knew Robertson was terrible.
Mate, do you know what? I think
It was
that
like-
Anthony Gordon is looking for Alexander Arnold to run it.
Just kill him.
He just knows that he can beat him.
Played. Liverpool are doing really well here with 10 men.
Then I don't know, mate.
Because they're still
not- what do you
attacking.
mean doing well?
They're, trying to,
Yeah.
they're still a
Define
threat.
doing
You've
well.
got a very loose definition
You know
of
what?
doing
Yeah,
well.
Because I would want to still go for it. I'd hate my team to just go, oh, fuck.
No.
we've
You've
lost.
got to stay in the game. If I were a Newcastle and Liverpool fan, I'd be saying, right, make sure it's 1-0 at 80th minute, and then hope for the best. Then go for it,
Nah,
but
you
don't
go
concede
for it.
another goal.
Like, you know, when
You
we
lose
lost
4-0
6-1
doing
against
that.
City.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
We
6-1.
went down to 10 men at 3-1, and Fergie was like, oh, fucking go for it.
Well, Darren Fletcher scored that great goal, didn't he?
Yeah,
What a
it
goal that
started
was.
his strike.
No one talks about that. It was an unbelievable
Really?
goal.
Great
yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah.
It
30
was
yards
like,
that one.
you know, when we lost
Pinged
2-1 in the Munich 50-year
Ever.
game, and Benjani scored
Oh, yeah,
twice.
yeah.
But Carrick scored a great goal
I don't
in
remember
that game. The kits were so nice.
When you
in that
score
game.
No adverts on the kits.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
so
when you
good.
score
no
a
badges,
great
nothing.
goal,
Amazing.
You know, in a game that ultimately you could have, what could be the biggest goal of your life can end up counting for nothing. Like if you know, in the wrong context, like. See Frank Lampard, he scored a goal in a Champions League final for Chelsea against Manchester United.
You know who
that should
else
be
is in
like
that
the
book?
biggest,
Wayne Rooney.
because he scored against
Wembley.
Barcelona.
And it was
Brilliant
a
goal as
great
well.
Goal, yeah.
You were
Whipped it.
2-0 down,
Could have been offside if there was one.
Whipped
Weren't you 2-1?
We were
2-0
1-0,
down?
made it 1-1.
1-0.
Wow.
And that's when you were thinking, oh,
After
Yeah.
Pedro scored. What a
Yeah,
finish.
you scored. You have like the biggest. You
Didn't
score the
last
biggest
long.
goal of your life, and it ends up being totally forgotten.
it's a shame.
My
innit?
favourite player from that Barcelona side, Gerard Piqué. What a player he was. No, he was ball playing centre half. No, unbelievable centre half.
Guys, you'll understand
Honestly,
why
yeah.
he said that.
My
later on
favourite-
I've always been saying that though, lads, consistently on every stream, whether it's this
I'm a
stream
big
or other
fan.
streams. Is that he's my favourite centre half going.
I love PK. If there's anybody I like
He
PK.
followed the
Shakira,
Champions
everybody.
League. You know how Kante followed the Premier League? So he won it in 08 with United and 09 with Barca.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is an amazing thing to do.
Class, isn't it?
That is an amazing thing. To
Fergie didn't back him, did he?
do. Yeah.
No, he did. But what it was he wants to go back to Barca, so he just let him go.
Yeah. Mate, PK's always been up there for me.
Yeah.
Whacker and all that.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Remember that goal where he turns inside out in the Champions League quarterfinal, semi-final? Can someone tell me what game that was? I think he's Bayern Munich. He scored that goal. But
Yeah.
anyway, do you know what I'm talking about? You don't,
Yeah.
do you?
This time for
This time for Africa.
That was the best part of the tournament. That
That was
song.
brilliant.
And it went downhill
The
after that.
video's amazing as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really.
Then they kicked off the game, and
Do you
it was
think
the
that's
worst
the best
tournament.
ever World Cup song? Is that better than like the say England 1990?
No, ours won.
What?
Our won.
Ours
What one?
Ours won. No, the what's it called?
3 lines on a shot.
Our one. England won.
World in Motion or
Yeah.
World in Motion?
No, he's
No,
not
the
on
other
about
one.
team song.
3
He's on
lines.
about
Oh, just World Cup
World Cup
song.
song.
Oh, I don't know then. What's the 2006 one? Can't remember that one.
Didn't they do they remixed Three Lions a lot? Three Lions has had like a lot
But
of
Three Lions
reverbs.
isn't actually a World Cup song, is it? It's for a side in the
England's
World
song.
Cup. That's
No,
what you're saying, yeah.
It
wasn't-
Oh, it's
it
that
wasn't-
one was the
you
World
mean.
Cup song,
Right,
wasn't it?
no,
It was
no,
the
no.
theme of the
But it
World
was
Cup.
Three Lions the Euros song.
The one for the
Euros.
Don't know.
for the Brazil World Cup was great. I forgot what it was called, but that
America
was
was America. America.
Who was this? 1954.
1994.
oh, the
94.
Brazil. What was the Brazil one again?
No,
Samba, the DJ made,
Yeah.
disc jockey.
No,
It was that.
was that it?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that was Brazil. I think, nothing's better
That's
than.
it.
Three Lions was 96. I'm remembering now. And
That's Euros,
they
but
did
that
it for 98. They re.
For 98, they did it again.
But
Do you remember? Because it
96
was
original.
the
'Cause he
start
puts
of it
the
was
melon in the thing
Cheers
and
for
picks that
Heroes Dressed in Grey, which was about what happened in 96.
Yeah.
No plans for
Waving
final
flag.
day.
Was that-
Stay
How do we not win
Or
that?
something
How
like
did we
that.
not win that?
Waving flag. It doesn't ring a bell with either of these two.
Waving flag.
Waving flag.
What-
It doesn't even sound grammatically
What do you mean
correct.
waving
It
flag?
was the
What
name
song's
of one
that?
of the
It's not-
songs for one of the World Cup.
What one?
Which one?
South Af?
Well, it can't be that memorable.
No,
if you
South
already
Africa
forgot
was
it.
Waka Waka.
Oh,
No, it
was
wasn't.
both.
It definitely
Waka.
wasn't. It was Waka Waka.
Was it?
100%.
Yeah, fair play.
You think I'm joking? You think I'm making a big deal of this, don't you?
What's the official title?
Waka Waka.
Is someone Googling back there or what?
Is
What are we
someone
do-
Googling? What are you playing?
What are we
The
doing?
answer-
We're in a
why-
vacuum here. It's
why
just us
do-
three chatting.
why
There's no one
do
in the
you need-
building.
They're just a prop. They're just a prop. Mate, why do you need them to tell you? I'm telling you, the answer is
You're
100%.
chatting out your arsehole.
Waka Waka.
You're chatting gas.
It's 100%
Is it called
Waka Waka.
What's the official song, please? Waka, yeah. No, I was thinking that. Yeah, fair play. Fantastic song. What's the waving flag one, Adam?
You're on the
I
front
can't remember how it
line.
goes,
That
but
sounds like a
remember the
LimeWire.
name
That
of
sounds like a
it.
LimeWire fake one for me. I've never heard of that.
Oh,
DC++.
Today's the day.
God, LimeWire was great, wasn't it?
Not bad for a
You
fat guy
take
with a
the
super
day,
chat. Gotta read
you're
it out.
dreaming.
Says, if you had to pick one Newcastle player for your team, who would you take?
When you forget up, if you forget up, waka waka. If I had to pick a Newcastle player for my respective team, if I could have any Newcastle player, the answer would be Alexander Isak.
Imagine him up front for Chelsea, or playing off
Bundles of
Jackson.
goals, bundles of goals.
I'd take Bruno all day long.
I'll go. Actually, Bruno's a shout, you know. Bruno, Isaac.
You need a
You need a
midfielder.
centre.
You
You
need
need
a midfield.
Botman. They need a centre.
No, you
back.
need a midfielder.
Bruno.
Midfielder.
They need
a
everyone. They
midfielder.
need a load of players.
You need a midfielder.
They need a
Will be
keeper.
Reed.
They need Pope.
Will be Reed. Gonna win the league.
Are we going to talk about the Onana weird save thing or not? Should we just leave that? I don't want to be
Non-save.
awkward or anything. I don't want to talk about it. If it, I don't want to be.
It's not weird.
I'm just checking that it's
Guy
not like
faked
a,
the
it's just
shot
weird.
and he went.
Yeah, he got
He
done
got
by the
faked.
dummy. He got done, yeah.
Happened
Right.
with keepers. We're going to talk
I
about the
thought that
great
was
save at the
peculiar.
end of the game.
I thought it
to
was
keep
peculiar.
it 3-2.
I thought that was weird.
Or
for me.
you didn't see that because it wasn't on Twitter.
What do you mean Twitter?
Yeah, because you got your whole opinion here from a still image
Well,
of
actually-
Onana diving.
Well,
didn't
you've got the complete
Well,
wrong
you haven't
opinion. It's
actually
called
seen the game,
X.com.
innit?
No, it's called X.com. So no, it was fantastic. Onana's come in for big money.
X-
Apparently, he's the
X-
best. It's called
X-
X.com.
X.
Yeah, it's called X.com.
Videos.com.
X. You know more about that than me. Okay, I keep it straight edge. Let's be.
Straight edge.
Oh wow, balls coming.
What
for
is
Liverpool.
Salah doing there? He seemed like he was going to dive and then
If he'd gone down, I think it could have
Oh,
Oh.
so Boz on a nutmeg there. He's kept the ball.
been. He has not.
He has. He's kept the ball somehow.
How do you do that? He beat
That's
three players.
amazing.
That's a foul as well. Isn't it?
Why is everyone diving at
That's
him?
one take on
Mate,
from
this is
Sabozlai.
getting really
Oh, then
filthy.
Tonali's done him.
Tonali.
He's better than Sabozlai. Yes.
Oh, he's still. Oh!
This game's
This
mad.
game is fucking amazing.
Fair play to football. Football's the winner here.
Football is the winner.
Fantastic.
Fair play. Football is the winner. You two have been very. Oh, you fucking prick.
He was about to be nice.
Are you bleeding?
No, I'm not bleeding.
Oh, I thought you cut yourself on the bottle.
No, the bottle's leaked.
I'm gonna...
Wow.
It's a shame that because I was having a good time there and then I'm soaked. So that shows you there's a lesson in that, lads. There's a lesson for all of you. Don't get cocky because things felt really good. I was about to say how much fun I was having and now I'm wet.
Yeah. Yes. It's a tough life out there.
I got really early start in the morning, mate.
Yeah.
No, really early.
Yeah.
Like I've got to wake up so disgustingly early.
Yeah.
Should we do a prank on Adam with his phone?
Yeah.
No.
We won't be able to get in.
Should we tweet as him?
What's his password? Do you reckon it's just Man United forever? 1, 2, 3.
Draw pattern. I'm not doing that. I'll break it. Oh, that's a shame because I would have tweeted as if I were him.
Yeah, what would you have tweeted?
I'd have tweeted, Rory is the best in the world. What would you have tweeted?
I would have tweeted.
I love Man City.
I think David Beckham's overrated.
Yeah. Bernardo Silva is better than Beckham.
Yeah. Phil Foden's better than
Phil
Beckham.
Foden is better than Beckham.
Oh wow.
Do you know what?
lose
Do you
so
know-
many
do you know
Twitter
when you- Do you know
followers.
when you were young, right?
Yeah.
Things like that were funny.
Yeah.
And you assume when you're young that they will stop being funny when you get married and have a kid.
Yeah.
But it never leaves you.
It never leaves
It
you.
never leaves.
It's like
Or
not
maybe it does
ginger.
leave you.
It's like not
Yeah,
ginger.
Not Down Ginger.
Yeah.
Not Down Ginger is the funniest thing in the world. David. Like, that will never not be funny.
We did
Certain
that.
things-
We did that a few weeks ago, didn't we? not ginger and all that. That's fantastic.
I love doing that. That's one of my favourite things to do. Knock on someone's door, run away. I do it with
Oh,
my
yeah,
kid.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I take my kid out
Yeah.
and we do it for real.
Yeah. I love it.
She loves it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like stuff like that. You think you grow out of it and you don't. Or maybe some people do. I just didn't.
Yeah. I used to do. You know the tire caps. I used to take those. You know,
What?
little tire
Let people's
caps.
tyres down.
Yeah. No. You don't. You just take the little caps off the tires.
We used to take
Collect them.
badges off cars.
You've got to take the Rolls Royce Angel.
Yeah, the Merc signs and that. That's bad, that. Though.
Yeah, you can't do
It's
it.
not good.
Can't
Someone
do
did
it.
that.
vandalism.
Do you know now when you turn on a car, the symbol pops up?
My cousin works in jewelry quarter and he's given me 2 Aston Martin badges.
Nice.
Because
What are you gonna do with them? Put them on the wall.
I've got them in my desk.
He put
I'll
them on
stick
his, put them on his
my Audi,
Citroen.
on his
Put them on his
Vauxhall.
Citroen.
Yeah. Just put it on the steering wheel, take pictures.
Yeah.
You know,
fantastic.
pretend you're driving. an
Like, do,
Aston
you know what, lads? I wanted to have a halftime debate with Joel, and I wanted to
Joel.
talk Wayne Rooney versus Didier Drogba versus Luis Suarez. I think we need to rank them 1 to 3. So really have a think about this. Give it the due diligence that it needs. We are talking about Premier League greats. Luis Suarez that season was truly mesmerising. Didier Drogba, in terms of being a match winner and playing to the highest standard at the biggest occasion, there's nobody like it. And Wayne Rooney, it's quite easily argued, in fact, probably argued by me, that he is Britain's best ever product as a footballer.
Should we take one each, maybe, or?
I mean, let's maybe we should explore each individually. Should we start with Didier Drogba and just see how you all feel about him, and then have you got yours in mind? Do you know where you sit on this already?
I know where I sit on it, but I do think Didier Drogba is an unreal striker. He was one of those strikers you never wanted to come up against, especially when Chelsea were in their pomp and at their peak, and he was a big part of that. Obviously, you're blessed with a lot of players, but he led that line so well. He bullied defenders at times, and I think he's one of those players that if you look purely at stats, kind of it doesn't tell the full story about the player that he was. He's also as well, people speak about players nowadays and we kind of focus on big games. You know, what has he done in the big games? What did he do against the big six? What has he done in the cup finals? And when people, I think it's unfair when they do this about Thierry Henry, but they always go, didn't do it in finals. You can't make that argument about Didier Drogba because he was a player that stepped up in those big moments. His style maybe isn't as attractive to watch as maybe the other two on the list.
It's
but unreal
interesting,
player
though.
that scored some great goals as well.
Yeah, and also, when people talk about his lack of numbers, so when people like to focus on the stats, and Didier Drogba is actually a great example as why I don't love stats and why I don't commit to talking about stats and why I'm quite snide about them generally, because Didier Drogba, through the prism of stats, is fairly uninspiring. However, what I think a lot of people maybe don't know about Didier Drogba is in 2010 when Chelsea won a double, he scored that season. He scored 37 goals, which is more than Wayne Rooney had ever scored in a single season and more than Luis Suarez had ever scored in a single season. So in terms of his ability to do it on the numbers as well, can also be very impressive.
Yeah, 100%. I think Liverpool fans watching this with the Suarez argument, I think they'd argue Suarez's peak was better than maybe both because Rooney had a kind of protracted world-class kind of career at Man United. It was longer, it was probably 10 years long, same with Drogba. But Suarez, in that one season that obviously we can all remember, 13-14, he scored 31 goals in 37 appearances. We're talking about these unbelievable kind of goal of the season contender goals almost every week. I mean, the ones against Norwich City in particular come to mind.
Won the Golden Boot and was banned at the beginning of the season as well.
It's great. He missed so many games.
Yeah, missed 7, I think. At the
And
beginning
he
of the
took that
season.
Liverpool side that had so many deficiencies, a young Sterling alongside him and Sturridge, and he took them against Man City to win the league. So that form in one season, I think you would take that over maybe Rooney and Drogba, but I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's easy to argue for Rooney or Drogba above Suarez.
Luis Suarez was unreal though. Like you look at the style of player he was. Obviously, people can talk about his antics and the misdemeanors and stuff, but as a player, unreal. Like running on the ball. He didn't always seem to be clean, but he'd bundle his way through, strength, tenacity, aggression, get through. But then he also had that edge, that quality to score great goals, bend them in the top corner. You know, all sorts of goals he'd score as well. 6-yard box, 18-yard box, outside the box. Absolutely unreal.
Do you know, I remember Luis Suarez. I know this isn't strictly the Premier League thing, but just to sort of accentuate quite how brilliant he was. I remember when I went to Brazil for the World Cup, we went to Sao Paulo and we played Uruguay. And England were a better side overall. We should have been fine. Rooney put us 1-0 up, I think. And then Luis Suarez he just happened. You know, like Gary Cahill didn't know where he was, didn't have a clue. Yeah. And it, like right in front of where all the England fans were, just Suarez, a couple of minutes later, Suarez, and we're out. You know, he was that good so often at every level.
Yeah. And
you know what I also think he was? And I say this with, the word may have negative connotations, but I don't think it should. He was at all costs a winner, wasn't he? He was just a true winner. He would do anything on a football pitch. So do you remember that against Ghana?
Oh, crazy.
I don't, obviously, we all buy into like the vilification of him at that point because it was funny. But I don't blame him for doing that. Keeping your team in the World Cup, you still
and they went through.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame that at all. You know.
No, I think Suarez.
If he was Ghanaian, the Ghanaians would have loved him. Do you know what I mean? So
I think he was as I think in terms of an elite season, it's up there. It's comparable to anybody. It's comparable to any single season. But I think overall,
does
it's
it matter that they didn't win the league?
Yeah, it does matter. It does matter. Yeah.
Why?
But no, I mean it matters because when we're judging footballers, I think we have to factor this in. It's a conversation that's often had about Harry Kane. It's a conversation that you could like extrapolate and make relate to. Like Matt Letizia was an amazing footballer, but we don't really hold him in the regard that perhaps we should because he was doing it at Southampton, not winning any silverware. Silverware counts. And had Luis Suarez driven that Liverpool team to the title,
they should have done.
But maybe it's his fault they didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, it's not
if
like
he wasn't
you can't
banned,
give
if
an
he
excuse
didn't,
like Gerrard and Suarez. They had the chance right there.
Also, if Luis Suarez didn't decide to try and feast on Branislav Ivanovic's arm at the end of the previous season, he wouldn't have missed 7 games. Maybe they would have picked up more points in those 7 games and they would have won the league. So it's all very well to be generous to Suarez. Oh, you know, they'd have won the league if he weren't banned. Why was he banned?
But when we have these debates, I look, if it's the World Cup final or the Champions League final for Team X, and they're both, you know, all three of them in their prime, I think Suarez gets in, lads.
Maybe
long-term legacy, we can have the debate about Rooney, and we'll talk about him in a minute.
No, for that
but
debate,
Suarez,
I am going to talk about Wayne Rooney now. For me, and look, I'm a little bit biased because I've seen him achieve great things for Manchester United and become our club record goal scorer. But when you look at Wayne Rooney and what he achieved, and at his peak, at his prime, at his best, all right, his best goal-scoring season was scoring 34 goals in 09-10. But just at his peak as a player, bullying opposition, winning the ball back, playing his teammates in terms of the assists, the style of footballer he was as well, that street footballer ethic. He could do all sorts on the football pitch. Wayne Rooney, for me, is, as Rory said, greatest British product in terms of football. I think he's great. I know a lot of people argue for Henry and different players. For me, he's the greatest Premier League player. Look at his goal catalogue, and then, as we've just mentioned before, he stepped up and he did it when Manchester United needed to win leagues and European Cups and all those kind of things. Scored in the Champions League final, although we didn't win that one. But Wayne Rooney,
I think it says a lot about his career that Suarez would have to play down the middle. Drogba had to play down the middle. Rooney could have played left back in his prime, and he would have been the best left back in the Premier League, in my opinion.
I think Wayne Rooney,
total footballer.
On this conversation, obviously you can spin these. They're all elite, brilliant players, and you can spin it any way you want almost. But I don't think anybody would argue that Wayne Rooney isn't the best footballer of the three.
Oh, definitely.
He's overall the best footballer. But, you know, to take it to what you said, Booth, if it was a World Cup final and you won game and whatever, the answer then you said was Rooney. I think in that very specific example that you used, the answer there is Drogba.
Could be, yeah.
For that very specific, I'm not suggesting that, look, when we come to conclude who we think our numbers are here, Rooney versus Drogba versus Suarez, I'm not now saying it has to be Drogba. I may vote that way, but I'm not suggesting it has to be Drogba. But to answer the question that you just suggested,
to have that clutch moment, to score the range of goals.
If you're going to say who do you want in a final to win you the game, out of these three players, there actually isn't a debate here. The answer is
In
Didier
terms of the
Drogba.
record, yeah. But if it was a clean slate right now and you're asking a centre back, who would you rather mark? I think Suarez would be the last person on that
Wayne
list.
Rooney's high on that list, bro. Wayne Rooney gave defenders nightmares.
No, of course, all three of them did. All three of them did. But
He'd do all sorts of defenders, twist them up.
But I do think in terms of a final. I mean, this is fact. This isn't opinion. In terms of a final, being the man in a final, winning the team that he's playing for trophies, scoring goals against huge opposition when it most matters. That's Drogba, not compared to Rooney and Suarez. That's Drogba compared to any footballer to have ever
in
lived.
the history of the sport, yeah. Of course it is, yeah.
So on that alone, the other thing that I didn't necessarily realise about Didier Drogba in that 10 season, it was Rooney and Drogba clearly the two best. Rooney that year, 34 goals, 7 assists in 44 games. Same amount of games Didier Drogba. More goals, 37 rather than 34. More assists, 16 rather than 7. You look at the goal involvement every 66 minutes.
Did he score in the FA Cup final?
I may be just off on this. I think Rooney ended that season with a big ankle injury. And that's what kind of scuppered us in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, if I've got my year right. Champions League against Bayern Munich because he'd done his ankle. Which was a problem for us that season.
But they are all
right. What's your free?
Like Rooney's definitely the best footballer. So
the most complete. Yeah,
Rooney's definitely the best overall footballer. So I think Buvey.
I'll go Wayne Rooney number 1, number 2 Luis Suarez, number 3 Didier Drogba.
Fucking hell, me and Buvey agree. But
I don't think
I agreed with a lot of what we said about Drogba,
close.
and
it's really close, isn't it, lads?
It's pointless making an excuse because we're talking about 3 great footballers.
I just think everything that we're saying is applicable to the other players, to give it to them.
You know what
Didier Drogba did.
You know what might be
like you go Wayne Rooney scored loads of goals
in Spain.
Yeah, but we can't use that because
but maybe you are using that
without knowing.
Maybe
I remember remembering what I saw in that final season for Suarez. It was disgusting. Drogba never reached that level in a Premier League campaign. I refuse to believe it in terms of what he did in a Premier League campaign.
He may not have had the numbers of.
He did have the numbers. He has better numbers in that.
That's not in the league though, isn't it?
Drogba, that's all season, mate.
Oh, yeah, all season. In that season, in the season 2009-10, the year that Chelsea won the double, he scored 37 goals, 16 assists.
And
Chelsea won the double. Liverpool 13-14. He scored less goals, less assists, one more assist, less goals.
The total level of the footballer, mate. The total level of that Luis Suarez kind of performance that season was disgusting.
Okay.
What the amount of goals he was giving up to other people, the amount of the way he would drive from midfield at points, it was disgusting.
And I will go Rooney. Rooney overall was a better footballer than Drogba. I don't think I can argue that. In terms of the different argument that you put forward, I think the answer is Drogba. But in terms of being a better footballer, the answer is Rooney, followed by Drogba, followed by Suarez.
I'll go Rooney, Suarez, Drogba. Let us know yours in the comments. I'm sure you already are. Half-time here between Newcastle and Liverpool. 1-0 to Newcastle. Liverpool down to 10 men. Trent could have been sent off in the first half. I don't know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Should he have received a second yellow for that? If it was a pullback, as we've seen, it's so often in that situation with defenders where they kind of drag onto their shirt or their arm, I go yellow. But because it kind of felt like Trent knew what was about to happen and kind of pulled, I thought it would have been very harsh to get 2 yellows because the first yellow was for just throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's the one I don't quite get. I was a bit confused. We were talking about something else. He got a yellow for throwing that ball away. That didn't look aggressive to me. That didn't look like a cynical moment.
Yeah.
So that's a grim yellow. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be absolutely aggrieved by that.
So he should be on yellow, but maybe
yellow. But
maybe for the different situation.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have got a yellow for the foul and not for the throw.
I think Van Dijk's really poor as well. Wow, look at this. This is a goal for Harry Kane. I'm sure they're cut into this for whatever reason.
Harry Kane scored a penalty against Augsburg.
Yeah, but it's a nice moment for him, isn't it? He's made a big move. He'll now win the league title in Germany. Fair play. Maybe people in the comments can let us know, what did you think about Trent's the 2 yellow situation? And then for me, I think Van Dijk is shocking, mate. The referees in this country are some of the worst pound for pound in world football.
No, it's right. It's true, especially when you look at the investment that we have. The amount of money these referees get paid. You always see them doing stupid little, training days and all these things with like Gary Neville and Carragher, and that. You just think,
Well, Harry Webb coming on to Monday Night Football.
why have you got all these facilities and you're useless? Rocco Yates with the super chat, gotta read it. Says can't stand the hate on Van Dijk. Ever since joining Liverpool, he was for years unparalleled. Returned from an ACL, almost brought us. There's a lot of almost and if buts and maybes in that, innit? Has one non-godlike season and he gets underrated. One non-godlike season.
Godlike season.
Godlike, first of all, mental. Don't say that. You're going to hell. Secondly, Van Dijk. If you're going to go to hell, go because you called Eric Cantona God, not Van Dijk. One non-God. Let's imagine in this instance, godlike season is a good season.
Yeah.
He's saying he's had one
He
bad
had
season.
three. Yeah, he definitely had three. He had three where he was the best centre-back in world football. And his level individually in that season was approaching that of a Rio Ferdinand, of a Vidic. Now, Rio Ferdinand has eight further years to talk about, even times at Leeds where he was one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. Same with someone like Ruben Diaz, who's going to have a longer time. Van Dijk's level's slowly dropping off, in my opinion.
Not slowly dropping off. I think he dropped off
Well,
very quickly. The injury may play a part in it, but the injury happened, so you have to take.
There was a moment against Napoli last season where I think Osman turns him inside out, and I thought this guy's done. He's absolutely done. He needs protection, and I don't really get Konate a little bit. I think I like Konate a lot. He's kind of not always playing. Maybe it's the injury situation, but Matip's kind of thrown in there.
Yeah.
Van Dijk needs a world-class centre-back next to him all the time, and Matip's not that. Matip and Van Dijk is as brittle as it can get in terms of the physicality needed in the Premier League these days. Look at someone like Botman, who's playing on the for Newcastle on the opposite end of the pitch today. He's so dynamic, so robust. He's an unbelievable centre back. Liverpool should have Botman in their back line.
Yeah, Johan thinks there shouldn't be any reds in this game so far, so he thinks Van Dijk shouldn't have been sent off as well. Homebrew says Trent's was defo a red. Steve X says not a red as well. So a lot of people think Trent shouldn't have been sent off. I think it would have been very harsh.
Look at Gordon running at Trent again.
Gordon,
Wow,
giving him a
that's
bad
a good
time.
ball as well. It's a great ball from
Ooh.
Gordon.
It was just deflected off by Matip there. Nearly went into Isaac's path.
Gordon's got so much confidence.
It looks
so
good
much
today,
confidence. I think it says a lot about St. James's Park. I think when you're running at people at St. James's Park, you get that extra 5-10% in terms of performance. You believe at St. James's Park.
Liverpool leave a lot of, probably helps at the dance 10 men, but even before the 10 men, Gordon looked like he had a lot of space to run into. He's got a lot of
Look at that now.
space to run
Look at
into.
this now. He's back. He's got the ball back again. This is where Trent has to be just a right back. Nothing more, nothing
Oh, I
less.
skinned
He's got
Trent
killed.
there.
Wow.
Ah!
Wow.
Isaac brought down. He did get a shot away.
Trent's getting murdered by Gordon today. Absolutely
Sold him.
crazy. Look
Sent
at
him
this.
to the shop there.
Look at that. Wow. It's beautiful to see. I didn't like Gordon
I
when
think
he joined
Isaac
Newcastle.
slipped more than he was fouled there.
Who is that? Yeah, that's not a foul. That's not a penalty.
Liverpool have a free kick about 40 yards away from Newcastle's goal. Hatpole down again.
There's a couple of transfers that you look at in the market now, and Gordon's one of them for 40 million quid. When it happened, I thought it was grim. I thought it was like, wow, what sort of money are we talking about? But for an exciting young English winger, it's mad good business. It's insanely good business.
Look good business if he lives up to this standard. But let's see. He started well, if I remember correctly, for Everton. And then kind of fell off a
he
cliff.
sort of kept him in the league.
Everything at Everton was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But this standard against one of the best, supposedly one of the best right backs in world football, killing him, absolutely murdering him.
Liam Clark thinks Van Dijk's was 100% already. Kicks through Isaac's foot to get the ball as Isaac is about to run clear into the box.
Klopp's not happy. And I wonder if the Salah situation picks up, does Jurgen Klopp ever take a look at his time at Liverpool and think, is it time to go?
I think if he ever got, well, he will of course leave Liverpool at some point. Whenever he leaves, it's his choice.
It's his choice. I wonder if that becomes quicker. That
Could be
decision becomes, let's do it next season.
Be a difficult man to replace, isn't it?
Mate, they're back to, they're closer to Spurs' level than they are to...
Do you ever worry about that? I know you've got a lot of resources and great players and that, but if Pep was to call it a day, do you ever worry about what next? Or do you just think we've had such a good time, who cares what's next?
How I compare it is Barcelona, because when he left, they had Luis Enrique go in there and Tito Villanova, I think it was, and that drop-off wasn't so bad. They won a treble with Neymar and all that only a few years later. So that drop-off is different. I think it's that kind of 10-year outlook. Could City still be winning things in 10 years' time consistently without Guardiola? That could be a massive, void to fill. But I think the club is set up in the way that Guardiola leaves tomorrow, for example. I think the following manager plays exactly the
You
same
just get
brand
the
of
next
football.
best thing, innit?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Rory has brought snacks today.
I didn't bring anything. I brought an apple. We can't split that on. Like,
Right.
that would get weird. Oh, mate.
You want to share an apple?
Oh, thanks, mate. You have it, mate.
There's two.
What if you go bite for bite?
You have it.
Wait, what is that? Let me see.
Snickers. It's a weird Snickers thing.
Weird Snickers,
Peanut
creamy
butter.
peanut butter.
And it's
Sounds
good for
like-
you.
Mate, Gordon's been killing Trent
No,
all
you love
game.
that.
Oh,
it's got to be.
Post Almiron.
Oh,
He's
my
missed a
Almiron.
sitter.
Almiron.
Oh,
Maybe
Miron.
Grealish was right.
Shocking.
Grealish was right.
Yeah, he had like a great couple of
Hey,
months at the start of the season and then kind of fizzled out, innit?
Yeah,
Here we go.
skills.
Jesus.
Good bear crawl there from Buvey.
What a
Good
view
back.
that was there.
Oh, my Rom's just got that all up arse upwards. It's sticky.
Liverpool just keep giving it back here. I know I keep forgetting down to 10 men. You kind of expect it, but
Even so, though, look at, like, ball retention becomes incredibly important when you're down to
Yeah.
10 men.
yeah.
It's really not the time to be giving the ball away. Trying to book my flights, man.
Thought you booked them.
Didn't go through.
Let's talk about this because people kind of like to know how your mind works. When we book flights, everything, like I have to be organized, know where my hotel is, what my flight time is. I like to know everything in advance. You, especially with flights, maybe you're different with other things, but you live very on the edge. with
Live on the
flights.
edge or you're taking up too much room.
Yeah, like how? See, now you don't know what time your flight is tomorrow.
No, you didn't book either. You need to book it now.
First of all, who is this person? Do you have like a regular?
No, I'm just a very particular man. I like to do things in a very certain way. I like to fly from Terminal 5 on British Airways only. That's what I like. I'm a simple man, a simple pleasure.
So you can only go
From Terminal 5,
where British Airways goes to from Terminal 5.
yeah, only on Terminal 5. I don't go anywhere else. And you know all this nonsense where people try and make you use airports. For example, London Luton.
It's not in Luton. It's not in London.
No, it's a malicious hoax. To call it London Luton, nothing about Luton is London. It's nowhere near London. It couldn't be further from London. It's closer to Birmingham than it is London. So calling it London Luton is just malicious. I'm not going there. I use Terminal 5 only.
Yeah, like Heathrow's not really London, really. Either.
Heathrow, just about. Like, it's down by Scotland.
I hate going to Gatwick. It was horrible.
Gatwick in Brighton. And they call it London Gatwick. Borrow. Going there ever.
Yeah, I hate
I
going.
can't get there. It's impossible.
Our,
Get on the Thames Link.
Our telly's going to go into standby mode, just saying.
What do we do about that?
Ginger should sort it.
Ginger.
Yes, I love the photo.
Yeah, Mick Hucknall.
coming home to you.
Wait, what, does he do it from there? He can do that remotely. Very clever.
It's remote controls, eh?
What's happening in the live chat?
Mental.
Let's have a look. Say hello. Hello.
I love how you think out loud.
Hello.
What's going on in the live chat?
Um,
Let's hear some comments. People like their comments being read out.
Heathrow is at least on the tube. Daniel Stefanovic is correct. Heathrow is on the tube. It therefore works. It works as a... Luton's not a bad airport. I would never know because I'm not going there.
I've been there once.
Someone's trying to copy Buvey's personality. Someone called Homebrew. Do you know who that is? What are you doing, you prick?
Oh my god. Buvey just. What are you drinking today?
Protein,
Called
mate.
Grenade.
Use some.
Do you know someone called Homebrew?
No.
Whoever it is trying to copy your personality.
How?
And it's super cringe according to Reese Morgan.
What do you mean copy?
What,
I
is it
can't
YouTube?
say the word any clearer. If you don't know what the word copy means, I can't help
What
you.
do you mean copy? In what context is he copying
I'm
me?
literally reading the comment.
Basic English, Boris.
Reese Morgan has said, Homebrew is trying to copy Buvey's personality and it's super cringe.
In what way? Elaborate, please, lad.
Reese, if you're still watching and haven't turned off with this rather boring segment, let us know more.
Is this what you've been doing when I went to the toilet?
Yeah,
Nope,
reading
nope,
out people's
it's just
comments.
literally
Sorry, lad.
just starting
Honestly,
now.
lads, I'm so sorry.
Rory's been
it's really
pumping the
boring.
weight.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
it.
Shout out to the Piccadilly line, nowhere near Jubilee till I die. Jubilee, I'm a Jubilee and Met man. Stop chewing into the mic, you animal. I apologise for that. That's totally unnecessary. Do you want a bare knuckle
Oh, I
fight?
skinned him
Oh,
there.
Ronnie Pickering. That's my favourite internet clip. Look, the geezer is called Ronald Pickering.
It's probably a fake account, mate.
Oh, do you not think it's actually
I
him?
doubt it's really Ronnie Pickering.
Gordon, straight into.
Gordon's been electric today. Electric.
Oh, someone's calling you something.
What is that?
It must be aimed at you, in fact.
A lizard.
But no, it's all going very well.
Yeah, say it to my face.
Buvey's arse comes into the room 5 minutes after him.
Yeah, it does. And his thighs.
Okay, there we go. Anyway, that's probably enough of that.
Gordon's
That
got
was
the
good
worst
fun.
haircut going. He looks like Claire Balding, doesn't he?
Who?
He's got the worst haircut going. He looks like Claire Balding.
Rory thought you said
She does the Winter Olympics and all that. She does the horse racing.
That blonde. I know who Claire Balding is. She's an institution.
Horse
here.
racing.
Yeah,
She used to be an equestrian person.
Yeah, she did.
equestrian
did.
person.
I don't know, a horse rider, a jockey.
Anthony Gordon's.
What, like the Grand National and that?
No,
she
she's
did-
massive. She's not getting on a horse. What sort of horse? What sort of horse she getting on? The poor fuck.
She
Horse
was
racer.
doing equestrian. Equestrian.
You ever been on a horse? You couldn't get on a horse, actually, could you?
What are you on about?
I've been
No,
on a
you
pony.
couldn't get on a horse.
You need a stepladder to get on one in the first place.
Everybody would. It's called a step.
I don't.
No, but you wouldn't be allowed.
I've been on a
horse.
donkey down
No, it
Western
wouldn't let you.
Supermare.
If you went to the seaside and went, I want to ride your donkey, they go, no, I'll donkey ride you, mate.
The
Our
noises that
fancies-
donkey would make. when
Yeah.
it moved.
No, you wouldn't be. You actually wouldn't be allowed on a horse.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
There are big horses out there, mate.
Not big enough for you.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
I went on a horse in Barbados.
Did
Good
you?
luck, man,
I
yeah.
would never go on a horse. My kid goes on a horse. I'm not going anywhere near a horse. They're massive.
My horse was sick.
They're expensive, those classes.
Oh,
Tonali to the ball!
I think it's
Bruno,
better than
holy,
Tonali.
holy.
Right, we've got a little hypothetical question for everyone. You're playing for a championship side on £25,000 a week. The biggest rivals of the team you support offer you to join them in the Premier League on 50 grand a week. So, Rory, for example, you're at championship side Chelsea, 25 grand a week. Would you join Spurs on 50 grand a week?
Chelsea in
Wow.
the Championship, Tottenham in the Premier League.
Yeah.
In this and that. Yeah.
You join Spurs,
If it's my job, it's my job. It's my responsibility to earn the money for my family, right?
but you're earning 100 grand a month.
I
Why
think
do you want to
Yeah, the numbers
ruin
aren't good
your
enough.
legacy
Yeah.
with Chelsea for 200 grand a month?
But when you're a professional footballer, your responsibility is to support and secure your future and your family's future for the long haul, right? You're going to retire at 35.
Yeah, but earning 25 grand a week isn't bad. I mean, if someone would have offered you that at the start of your career, you'd have taken it. Right?
Hmm.
Is playing for Chelsea and thinking in the Championship and thinking, if I get them to the Premier League, I can earn that 50k a week there.
I personally wouldn't move. I can't believe there's a debate for either. I would not move to Man United. No way in a million years. If
Well,
I'm on
you wouldn't-
25,
you
if I'm on
wouldn't-
25 grand a week, at Man City in the Championship, it's amazing. It's a laugh. It is. So, in some clubs, but I know it's all banter. I get it. We all got relegated. I get it. Yeah, but there's some clubs that can't get relegated. Like if Everton get relegated, it's misery. Like when Newcastle got relegated, it's misery in the Championship. City had a laugh in the Championship.
It's a different city.
It's
now.
just-
I think
different now,
it's really easy to say here, but there are countless examples. Like Jamie Carragher. Jamie Carragher's like old man ran with Everton, captain Liverpool to a European Cup. It's all very well to go, oh no, I would, you ultimately will do what.
Like
And there's countless
Peter
examples.
Schmeichel's at the back end of his career. He wants another paycheck for one more year. He signs for Man City.
Yeah, I think that's different for him though.
He won't
It's
imagine
just an
like
example.
fan, though, was it?
It's an example. You know what I mean?
Like,
I
it
wouldn't
happens a lot.
join Liverpool. I think I'd say Liverpool, City, Arsenal. I'd rather be at Man United. I'd rather be at the team that I want to be at.
Same.
Even
There's
if
no,
they were
there's no way that
half the
realistically you'd be playing in the Championship if you had a chance to play in the Premier League,
Oh, yeah.
regardless for who. You just
Well,
wouldn't.
you back yourself to get promoted with City or
No,
United.
but that's not the question, is it, mate?
It's part of
But
it.
that's what
You're
you would
staying
do.
with
That's
them
what
to
you
get them
wanna do.
promoted.
Wouldn't you want to get your boyhood team promoted? What you got to remember
What
is
if
you're
you
earning
don't?
good money here.
What happens if you don't?
I think that's fine. Go take the money. Go to Spurs.
Mate, it's so easy sitting on a live stream when it's obviously not going to happen Go, no, I would never play. I would never take. Of course you
Well,
would.
it's hypothetical, isn't it?
No, but of course, no. But the reality is, if you were actually presented with an opportunity to play for Manchester United and earn £50,000 a week in the Premier League,
Yeah. Or play for Man City on 25 in the Championship, I know exactly what I'd do.
and play for Man United is the answer.
It's not. I've just said the answers. Play for Man City in the
it
Championship.
isn't. Well, you'd be the only one
So
to
is
have
Adam.
ever done that.
That's
I
not
would.
true.
I would stay.
That's
I'd
not
stay.
true. There's
What
loads of
footballer
examples.
has, name one example of
Oh
a footballer
my
that's
God.
played in the Championship rather than the Premier League.
When Newcastle
So
got,
name one. Name one.
I'll give you when
Name
Juventus.
one.
Can I go?
Yeah.
When Juventus got relegated, 3-4 players stayed. I think
Del Piero,
Buffon
Buvey.
stayed.
Yeah,
Del Piero stayed. If that's not a bigger example, I don't know what else is. They stayed at Juventus instead of
That's
competing.
not the example. They've done everything that they could possibly do at Juventus and then hung about. That's very different to not playing in the Premier League
They
and
didn't
then
win the
being given an opportunity to play in the Premier League.
But you've just said, give me an example of your boyhood club.
but
You get
that's not
relegated,
it.
and then you fight for them to get back out of the second division,
That's
which they
not
did
it.
in Juve.
No,
and
that's not the
stayed.
It's not the same.
Vieira
example.
left. That's Juve's side. He chose to
but
leave.
that's
Some players
not,
didn't
that's
choose
not
to
the
leave.
same example. That's not the same example at all.
Okay.
We're talking about somebody who is playing in the Championship, hasn't played in the Premier League, hasn't won everything with
fine,
Juve, hasn't won a European Cup at Juve,
Okay.
hasn't won countless Scudettos at Juve.
You're adding all this context to your career, by the way.
This is
I would have added that context in my career. I would have been in the Premier League, won a few trophies. Like that.
the point is Jamie Carragher is a perfect example to use here.
No, but
Jamie-
his career didn't. He wasn't at Everton and then moved to Liverpool.
No, but he was
He was a young
He was
Everton
a-
fan who
who played
grew up
for
playing
Liverpool.
for
Exactly.
He's still in Everton.
while his father
He's still
was
an
on the
Everton
front
fan.
line with Everton.
He's still in Everton.
He's not an Everton fan at all. He's not. He admits he's not.
Yeah.
No, he tells us
It's weird in that
he tells
city.
us
It's
he's
weird
not.
That's weird in Liverpool.
You're
never
telling
want
me he
Everton
is
to
when
go
he's
down.
told us he isn't. I don't think he'd want them to go down, but he isn't an Everton fan. He's a Liverpool fan.
He's a Liverpool fan. He is. He's a Liverpool fan.
He tells us he's a Liverpool
He
fan.
is. He is. Come on.
All right.
There are examples. There
You ever
are.
seen him celebrate when Liverpool beat?
Yeah, that
beat
is true. That is true.
I wouldn't go.
I know I wouldn't for a fact.
You don't.
Wait. So I don't know
No,
my
you
own
don't.
mind.
No, you think. But you think you're.
I don't know my
no,
own
but
mind.
you don't see yourself in the way that is truly you. You think you're good at poker. You've never won a penny.
what's
No,
that
because
got
I'm
to-
just using it as an
Why
example.
Why are you getting personal? Like,
It's
that's
not
so
personal.
weird.
I'm using
It's
it-
really
That
weird.
is- that is-
You
that
know,
is-
I won money in Malta a few weeks
It's
ago
not-
playing
it's not-
poker. What do you
it's
mean I've
not-
never won a penny playing poker?
It's not.
I've won
Add
money. But why'd you bring up? But here's the thing. Okay, the Rory Jennings void of information. Okay, the vacuum of information. I've just given you an example. Juve get relegated.
Yeah, that's not. It's
Buffon,
not. It's a
okay,
completely
Del
different example.
Piero
It's
is a
not the same
Juve
example.
fan. He
It's-
Moving
stays-
on.
he
It's not the
stays
same
there.
at all. It's not the same. It's
At
not.
least I've never won a penny in
it's
poker.
literally not the same.
Okay, before the poker side stuff, I've won way more than you in casinos. Way more live earnings than you. 100%.
Well, let's have a look at your Hendon mob.
Boy, I'm not on there. I don't have a mate who works the website.
No, but everybody who's ever cashed in a tournament is on there.
You've done very well, mate. What can I say? You've done fantastic. as well.
The point is that you don't see yourself
You did
as
buy
other people
people.
see. Yeah, that was brilliant.
No, a bit because it was void. It was void information. It was void information.
The point is that you would 100% go and play in the Premier League
I
if
don't
you.
think I
wouldn't.
And your
No,
Juve
in
example
your
and your
opinion.
Juve
In your
example.
You gotta
your
remember
Juve
the numbers
example
that
is
we're
neither
talking
here nor
about,
there.
yeah.
Your Juve example is ridiculous.
It's not. Absolutely not ridiculous.
If in that example, if I'd won countless Champions
Okay,
Leagues
fine.
and Premier Leagues and whatever with Chelsea,
Yeah.
and then Chelsea go down, I'd sit tight. 32, I'd sit tight. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the same as being 22, never playing in the Premier League, and getting an opportunity to play in the Premier League and double your money. You must see a difference there.
Yeah, fine. I think there's loads of examples in English football where a club gets relegated, they stay with the club and tries to get promoted again. You know, when West Ham got relegated, Nolan stayed, for example, and players like that. And when Newcastle
Kevin
got relegated,
Nolan.
Kevin Nolan.
Where was he going?
He was a good Premier League player. He was a good Premier League
He is
player.
in his career.
He was a
Kevin
good Premier League
Nolan.
player. But it's examples. You can't discredit Kevin Nolan. He's a Premier League player for
but he
all of his
wouldn't have got
career.
another Premier League
Suddenly
club at
he's
that
not-
point in his career.
You know, in the office.
How would you know that?
How would you know he would? How do you know that Kevin?
Because I remember when they got relegated, they had Big Sam at Upton Park, and everyone's thinking, "What's he doing playing against all these terrible sides in the Championship?" He was way too good for the Championship.
He didn't
At
stay
that
there.
point,
He
was
didn't stay
Championship.
there out of loyalty to West Ham either. You
Right.
think he's majorly loyal? You think Kevin Nolan, the Scouse Kevin Nolan, is massively loyal to West Ham? What on earth are you talking about?
But he's loyal to Big Sam. He's loyal to Big Sam, wasn't he? So
Buvey being Kevin Nolan in his
there's loads of examples.
in his scenario.
Nothing I could do would ever please you, Royce. Nothing I could do. I could give you so many
I
examples.
can't think of one.
What, one player that stays with
I genuinely can't think of
boyhood
one
club?
player that would truly So
I think there's many, man.
Jude
loads.
Bellingham should have
I
stayed
think there's
at.
loads.
Can you give me one then?
I know, but I
to
think
chip in. If you
but
agree,
also you
chip in.
wouldn't know about a lot of these situations as well because you just see that they haven't gone.
Do you not? You know when we speak about Harry Kane, you speak very passionately.
Jack Grealish stayed at Villa.
You
by the
speak
very.
very passionately. Oh, is he playing
Grealish.
for Villa? He must have scored a blinding goal for
Well, he
Villa
got
last
them
week.
back
I
to the
missed
Premier
that.
League.
Yeah, but when they got relegated, he stayed there. When
He
he
was a
had offers.
kid.
No,
He was very
He was a
talented.
Could have
kid.
went Spurs and
We
all
just-
that.
honestly,
but not
Royce,
before that.
He was
But
a
Royce,
kid.
you have to let go at some point. We've given you a really good example,
Yeah.
surely.
Jack
A
Grealish-
young
Jack
English talent that went for 100 million quid in the future.
Do you not see that Jack Grealish is obviously
We've
not
done
that?
him in.
It isn't that example.
You've
Jack
done-
Grealish isn't the example. He's playing for Man City.
No, but
No,
he
we're not saying that.
left the Premier League team to join Man City. He stayed at Villa and got them up.
He got smashed in the face by a Birmingham City fan. He should never have been playing in that game.
Of course, at that,
He should
at
be in
that
the Premier
point,
League.
At that point in his career, where was he going?
The season before, when Aston Villa got relegated from the Premier League, he was fantastic in that season in the Premier League. He was a Premier League proven talent, very, very young English talent as well. There's no way in hell he should be playing the Championship that season. No way. Sorry.
No, I think
There's a lot
who
of
was
talk about
sniffing
him
around him? Who's
Uh,
sniffing
I
around
don't-
him?
I don't
all
remember
that.
Aston
Tottenham.
Villa transfer rumours. Yeah, Tottenham, exactly.
Tottenham.
Exactly.
You suddenly
Tottenham
remember
were a Champions League team.
when I said it, you remember.
Tottenham were a Champions League team then. Didn't have Poch at that point.
Yeah, Tottenham were definitely interested. That's true.
And I can't remember the ins and outs of this deal. It's amazing that you two
No,
can.
but-
It's amazing. It's especially amazing that you can.
No,
considering
it's
you
funny.
didn't remember it.
It's
and I
funny.
said
It's
it.
funny
And now
how
you
we get
remember
an
it.
example.
That's
and
how
then all
memory
of a
happens.
sudden-
That's how memory
It isn't an example. I don't know for a fact, and neither do you.
What
Jack
about when
Grealish
Leeds
went,
went
I'm
there?
not leaving. Jack Grealish went,
You know
I'm not
what?
leaving Villa. I'm staying here because I don't want to go to
You
Tottenham.
know
I
what
want to help
helps
Villa get out.
Rory's conversation here? I know me in it. I would like to think I would stay put. But you know what helps Rory here? Alan Smith.
Alan Smith.
From Leeds to Man
Yeah.
United. He was a proper Leeds boy.
Also, you
Got relegated and he
you always
left.
talk about Harry Kane. One of the deficiencies that you flag in Kane is his lack of ruthless pursuit of brilliance, and you
Yeah.
hold that against him.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But Harry Kane never spent
Did
his
Spurs
life in
get
the Championship.
relegated?
But it's about being the best you can be.
Yeah.
So Harry Kane, something that you hold against him
Yeah.
is he didn't pursue and push himself to be the very best that he could be. And yet you're saying that if it were you, so you think Kane should have gone. Kane should have gone years ago.
Yeah, but Kane's a supreme talent. I'm just saying, if I was a footballer at any level, I'm sat there now, still conscious in my mind. I say, I'm lucky to be at Man City.
Well, you
I
obviously
earned
are a
25
supreme talent if you're at Man City in the Championship and Manchester United, who are in the Premier League, want to sign you.
But for only 25k more, which is in the hypothetical, I'm
He's
not
got,
doing
if
it.
there's 100, I'm there. Yeah, it's true though. That's what it makes my mind easy.
I'm already earning
25
good
to
money.
50K.
25k a week's good money.
I mean, we earn more than 25k now.
I don't know. I've never.
I've
never earned a penny in my life.
Anyone in any
That was
situation.
a joke, by the way. Don't get into YouTube. It's
anyone
fucking pointless.
in any situation doubling their income is huge. So you go, it's only
well,
50k.
we're not saying it's not huge, by the
25
way.
bags a week is huge.
Yeah,
You're set for life.
I think it's. That's
wow.
a
Salah's
fantastic
in-
pass. He needed
Great
to shoot
block,
a second
block.
earlier.
The block. Botman.
Could have
Sure.
shot a second earlier.
Botman. Great block there. Mo Salah there was played in by
But if he
Jota.
shoots there,
But the ball was still a bit behind him when you said there.
Yeah, maybe
I
a bit
mean-
earlier.
you need to get there a bit quicker.
Botman's fantastic.
Liverpool have done well here. I know most of the game has been played with Newcastle in possession of the ball trying to score. But on the break, Liverpool have actually been threatening. Still 1-0. Anything can happen. I don't mind. And look, I want Liverpool to lose every game they play. But I don't mind a draw here, considering where you'd expect Newcastle to finish in the league. You don't want them getting
Yeah, I
above
think
their
you need a
station
draw
as well.
I think you need a draw, don't you?
Yeah,
As
you
a
don't want them
United
getting
fan.
above their station.
I don't think this matters to you. To Man United, I don't think this matters too much.
Both sides are.
If they draw,
in
they
that
both
kind of-
stay behind us.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Very early, but-
ultimately, both are going to finish above you.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
We finish above both.
Doesn't matter.
Well, yeah.
We finish above both and you.
No, you don't finish
above
above.
both,
You,
and
you,
you-
you
you
definitely
brought
don't
Chelsea
finish
in there,
above.
that's
You definitely
personal.
don't finish above
That's
Newcastle.
personal. You'd have to bring Chelsea.
There's
into
two
that.
teams that will finish above us, possibly.
You'll be lucky.
You
to
won't
come
make
fifth.
Man United. Don't make top four. No way.
You'll come fifth.
Finish
mate,
third or
maybe.
better again.
You're not coming third. honestly.
Mate, you're more likely to come sixth and third.
You're more like, yeah.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
What do you mean not a chance? There's definitely
Huge
a chance.
No, there's a chance.
There's one in
yeah,
20
there's a chance.
Yeah.
There's a
There's one in
chance, yeah.
unless you get relegated.
Oh, you'd have loved it. You know, yesterday after the game,
Yeah, would have
we
stayed
all
in.
stayed in.
Yeah, I saw.
Started singing songs on that.
Yeah, I saw.
I was thinking you'd have loved shit like that.
Yeah, it's more important than the game. Yeah, yeah. Protecting your club for the long haul is more important than the 3 points on the day.
Oh, it's another corner, that, isn't it? Come off Joe Linton.
Liverpool got back into the game, haven't they? And Newcastle, they've had some good moments, but maybe not enough to deserve 3 points at this point in the game.
They've had a few very, very nearly moments. Isaac getting that chance, then getting brought down. Ooh, that was a dangerous corner. Well cleared out by the defender. Was that Burn?
Oh, it's a good ball from Szoboszlai there. Wow.
You know, if Joel Gomez has held his position, he might have been offside anyway. But if he's held his position here, he has a tap in on the back post.
Yeah, I really like Botman. Yeah, really good centre half.
We are brought to you by Super 6. Make sure you're joining our league. Club 23 is the code. Have we hit 9K yet? We better have. If not, he's like a slipping around here.
Just caught Bay slipping.
Where's that from?
We're still 73 away. What's going on?
There's an amazing internet photograph of this this girl.
photograph.
This girl. Have you not seen Bay caught me slipping?
No.
Do you know Bay caught me slipping? Oh, it's so funny. This girl, right? She's put herself. She's asleep and she's taken a photograph. And she's made out that her bae caught her slipping, and that's the caption. But there's a mirror behind her, and just a selfie. She's like this.
I seen that
So funny.
so long ago that I forgot I'd seen it.
So
when
good.
you were telling me about
Mate,
it, I was like,
it made me laugh so much. I saw it the other day. They caught me slipping. Spelt like that as well. Slipping.
Rory is that uncle that you have that tags you in everything on Facebook that you've seen a million times already.
Mate, that did make me laugh. That really was funny, man. There's a few things like that have been making me laugh lately. I saw this other one, right? Of this, I think he was like a Newcastle, a Geordie bloke, quite a big chap, and he's sitting there, right? And he's like covered in tattoos, and his dog is asleep next to him, and the dog is so knackered that he sort of falls off the sofa, and he goes, huh? Says the dog, the dog sort of lands on the floor and gets up. Well, the geezer thought the dog was dead. He's like, oh, man, I thought you were dead. It's like, you nearly broke my heart. God, I was laughing so much. Someone
Have you
might be
seen that
able to find
weirdo on TikTok that acts out really depressing situations?
Yeah. Oh my
So
God.
odd.
Well,
Like he'll put
I
like,
don't have that TikTok.
dad
Yeah, don't
just
do it.
found, daughter burnt alive in house. And then he'll run around and pretend he's
And he'll hold like a
saving
toy
his
doll.
daughter. And he'll hold this doll crying.
He's like an actor trying to get like roles.
But
This
it's,
is
it's really, he does really specific.
My 4-year-old son drowned in the
in
paddling
the pool, yeah. And then he goes,
And he's like holding his like actual son. He's like
is he
alive.
acting it?
He's like,
Yeah, it's good.
So funny.
So can we give you, Rory, because you're an actual actor, you're better than him.
Well, give me some improv.
Can
Come
we
on,
give
let's
you
give me some
some-
improv. Right, me and you.
Right, I'm Patrick Truman.
I need a bottle.
You're buying a protein shake. All right, I'm Patrick Truman.
No,
I've got the cash register here.
No, we're going to do, he is your son,
okay.
and he
He's just
is
just
choking.
telling us that
You've walked into your dining
just
room and your
telling-
son's choking. You've got to save him.
No,
bro.
okay. Let's do an improvised scene.
Yeah.
You're my son, and you are telling me that.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Go on then. You're the actor.
No.
No, older straight
No, but
face.
I always laugh, man.
Not very
You know I'm-
Stanislavski, are you?
No, okay. So you're my son. Tell me. You know what to tell me.
Rory.
You don't call your
No,
dad.
you
Yeah,
don't-
Rory.
if I'm an older son. I'm like, Rory.
Okay.
Right,
Yes.
Dad.
Yes, son.
How you doing, mate?
I'm good, boy. How are you?
Can I get a protein shake? You got one in the kitchen?
What do you need it for?
Well, I'm trying to. I'm working out. I'm trying to look
Why do
good
you
for the
care
ladies.
so much about your muscles, weirdo?
Well, I'm trying to look good for this really special girl in my life that I'm trying to take on a date.
Girl.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Lucy.
What's her surname?
Lucy Bill.
You don't want to do that, son,
What is that?
because you don't want a situation to present itself where she could say, that's not how your dad did it.
That's fantastic. Honestly, we deserve 1 million
That's
subscribers
a
for that
BAFTA.
scene.
That's a BAFTA
Thank
right
you very
there.
much.
Well played.
So can you pretend that you've walked in on Buvey drowning and save him? Can you do stuff like that?
For
I don't
God's
think-
sake. Adam, why don't you get involved instead of stirring the
Do
pot?
you know- do you
why
know
don't you
what-
get
do you know
involved?
what? You
Because
know,
no
if
one
you
would
were-
believe.
You're the biggest
no
actor.
one would
You're the
believe
biggest
I'm
actor on
his
the club.
son.
Do you know
You're
what?
the biggest
do you
actor
know
on the
what? Do you
club.
know if you were drowning? You know, if we end up going wakeboarding again in Spain, you could actually drown doing that because you can't wakeboard.
I'm not going
If
on that.
you
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
to drown,
Yeah.
Do you know I can save you?
Okay.
When I was at school, I used to have to do this test where we bring our pajamas in and swim and shit.
Yeah.
And I'd save you. I would honestly be able to save
very
you.
much.
Did you ever do that? Swim in your pajamas at school?
Yeah.
I would
go
save
get the
you.
brick and that.
Yes, swim down and get the brick, that black heavy thing. Yeah, I used to have to do that in pajamas. I remember thinking, this is really weird.
Really weird.
Swimming
that
in
your
my
teacher
pajamas. I'm
wants
never going to
everyone
do this.
Turn up in their
I'm
pajamas.
11. For the rest of my life, I'm never going to go swimming in my pajamas. Why are we doing this?
There might be like a cruise liner. If they're thinking ahead, you might be on a cruise liner. It might be a Titanic situation. You never know.
Do you know how many people go missing on those things?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just dump them off the side and no one tells anybody about it. Swear to God, bro. Swear to God.
If
It's in a documentary
If
about
I
it.
ever got thrown off a cruise ship, I'd be so upset. Like, you just be in the water going, no.
Do you know a tip? Yeah. Do you know a guy survived Titanic? He had no life raft or anything. He drank a whole bottle of brandy, and the alcohol made his blood, dilate. So he stayed warm enough.
His blood dilated.
The veins vasodilated. So he stayed warm enough. That's a word. That's a word. Vasodilated.
Vasodilation, yeah.
Exactly. It's a word.
Vaso.
Yeah, vasodilation.
Vasodilation.
Yeah, I say it in my accent. So you slag it with my accent. But he survived in the water.
Do you know what you need to do if he gets a bit like that again? Just insult his poker and he goes mental.
Yeah,
he goes mental.
That was dumb from you.
He
Yeah, that was
starts
dumb. That was dumb from you. Honestly, it
Why
was
do
dumb.
you get so upset about poker?
I don't, because I like poker.
You
like poker. We all like
you're the
poker.
third
here.
best player here, innit?
I'll take that. You guys are fantastic.
No, we're not
Obviously,
fantastic.
I'm sat next to a luck boxing Roy, and you're a good poker player as well. But he's the biggest luck box going. We've never seen it. 2 out of me 5 times in a row.
Yeah, he is. He is.
That's what I used to love playing poker with you, but we don't do it anymore, do we? We used to do it on a show, but it's fantastic. When it back in the day,
No, that's coming up back though.
is it?
No, we are. We've got a show coming up. We've
Yeah.
got a really good show coming up.
It's gonna be great.
It's going to be fun.
And do you know who I'm a big
Is
fan?
Almiron! He's ran
Wacka wacka!
half of the pitch and hit the post.
Wow.
That was funny earlier.
Almiron had a good few weeks in it at the start of last season.
When he was having a bit of a thing with Grealish.
But that was at the start of last season.
Yeah.
Oh, he's,
A
But
long
I'm
time ago.
surprised he still gets a game here.
it's a more
I
of a
think it's
going
what
wide, hit the
rotation
post
is.
than a going in, hit the
Yeah,
post.
never
isn't
going
it?
in. Especially when you think they signed Harvey, but like they've signed players.
Why
who-
isn't Barnes playing?
I don't know. I'm surprised.
Makes
I'm surprised that Gordon has gone over that side as well.
I get Gordon cutting in on his right though. I get that a lot. And then Almiron
Would you not
works
say that?
hard.
Would you not say that Newcastle's better? Like so they signed Barnes, right? They
Yeah.
signed Gordon.
Yeah.
Both are better than Almiron and Murphy, who were playing there before.
Yeah.
Is their best front line not Wilson through the middle, Isak on the left, and maybe Barnes on the right, or
Yeah, but
Gordon
I
off
think
the back
the
of
work rate. I think Callum Wilson works a little bit less than Isaac.
Yeah,
I think Isaac offers a bit more in terms of the
Oh,
aerial.
But
as
is
well.
that the best team though?
I think you're right in terms of against maybe 60% of the league. But against
But not
Newcastle,
today.
where he's a bit worried about the work rate of
You want
Diaz.
Almiron on there.
Almiron he's a cart horse and he's got no talent. And he's a cart horse.
Nah, but he's very direct. You know, like you said, they got Harvey Barnes brought him in for Saint Maximin and that.
Mm.
Saint Maximin wasn't very direct. At least Gordon, Almiron, your man Harvey Barnes, they were all very just get to the byline ASAP. Do you know what I mean? With Saint Maximin, if you're a striker, you don't know what the hell's going on. Who's this fella, by the way? Kwanzaa. I don't know who he is.
Cut to Rory Jennings.
I don't know who he is. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. Unless a player's changed his name, I don't know
I've not heard
who
of Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa is.
Do you know?
I've
do you
heard of
know-
Nunez. He's a big cart horse up front.
Do you
as
know
well.
McAllister? Do you know he has a brother called Kevin McAllister? Seriously?
So shit.
No, it's true. That's not a joke. It's so funny that it should be a joke, but it's not true. It's true. Google it. Ginger. Kevin McAllister is Alexis Sanchez's brother.
Sanchez.
Alexis McAllister's brother. Kevin McAllister is related to Alexis Sanchez. That's a fact. It's funny, isn't it, the name Kevin? Because when I was young, there were a lot of Kevins who played football.
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister plays in Belgium.
Kevin, told you.
I didn't. don't look at me. I backed you, mate.
Kevin Nolan, Kevin
Yeah.
Davis, they were about.
Yeah, Kevins
Kevins
Phillips.
aren't born in this country anymore.
It's like
They're
yesterday.
from Belgium and stuff.
Gary
Kevin De
Lineker
Bruyne.
was interviewing Gary O'Neill. It's like, when was the last time two Garys had a conversation?
You know, no Garys were born in the country last
Yeah,
last
so
year.
when's the last time two Garys had
And
a
imagine how
conversation?
many Garys there were playing in the Premier League when we first started watching it.
Gary Speed, Gary McAllister, Gary Neville,
Gary
Flitcroft.
Flitcroft, Gary Barry, Gareth Barry.
Gary.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, You had Gary Newman making songs back in the 80s.
Fuck it.
He did. Is he not a Gary? Thanks very much.
Got it.
I saw him the other week, actually.
Oh, if his touch
Gary-
is better there, he's in the box, you know, Nunes there. His touch just took
Nunes
him
has
back
got
to the
to-
defender.
Well played, Joe
That's a
Linton.
ball from
He's
Joe
onside.
Linton. Here we
He's
go.
onside,
Make it
yeah.
2 now. Sweat
He's
it.
onside.
Sweat it.
Oh, no,
Sweat it.
what have you
Absolutely
done?
fucked
Oh, he
it.
Hollywood it.
Oh, mate.
He's
Go
a hot
sweat that.
So many runners coming in.
He's fucked it there, ain't he?
He's saying, what you doing, mate?
Mate, if this ends 1-1, that's the moment. Oh.
Liverpool, though, still committing men forward.
Yeah, they're having a go. They're a fit side as well. You know, they're going to work hard anyway with 10 men.
Plus Klopp, man. He'll just tell 2 players to just fill in and switch up.
Do you think, in honour of Kevin McAllister,
Oh,
is Home Alone 1 better than Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
Or is Home
no,
Alone...
I like the one in New York better.
New York's better. Yeah.
Because, you know, just like the Rockefeller and the,
And
you know,
Trump.
the Christmas tree.
Trump's in it, yeah.
I
Trump.
don't care about that.
Swap stubs, isn't it?
But like
He is
all
in
that
it, yeah.
stuff, you know, like I prefer the New York one.
I think I prefer New York because
More
it's just
Christmassy to me.
Although, do you know what I did quite like? I liked the first one because I liked all the, you know, that kind of like faux gangster language
Yeah.
of Marv and Harry or whatever. Was that his name?
Marvin,
Harry
yeah.
and Harry and Marv.
I think it was, yeah.
They were yeah. Mate, I'm talking about Home Alone here. Can you give me a minute?
Sorry, yeah, go on.
It's nearly Christmas, isn't it? It's less than 150 days, isn't it?
Gee, don't. You're one of them.
What do you mean one of them? I don't like Christmas. I'm just
You
telling
don't
the
like
fact.
Christmas? What kind of weirdo doesn't
Well,
like Christmas?
I'm getting a bit bored of it. As I get older, I just don't see the
mate.
the
As
point.
you get older, it
I
gets
live for
better.
Christmas, yeah.
It gets better as
Why?
you get older.
I love it.
Because it becomes less about presents and stuff, which,
It's
you know, when you're a
beginning
kid,
to
presents are hit and miss,
look
aren't they?
like
And now it's just about vibes.
Vibes.
We were on the overlap, Rory, and everybody seemed to be being really positive about Arsenal signing of Kai Havertz. And I remember me and you at the time were kind of like, we don't
Mate.
get what's going on here. Yes, or at the weekend when Arsenal drew against Fulham, there was a lot of talk after, but from Arsenal fans themselves, about Kai Havertz, about Arteta forcing. Wait,
Wow.
Darby Nunes is in.
Oh, what a goal.
What a
1-1.
finish
Not
from
bad
Nunes.
for a cart horse, mate.
That's fantastic from Nunes.
Great finish by him, to be fair.
That kind of finish we've not seen from him.
The ball's dropped down. The defenders had a chance to clear it. He hasn't. Darby Nunes has pounced on it, and he's scored. Yes, I love it. I love football fans. You know, just give
Mate,
it some-
do you know what I just said? If this finishes 1-1, it's going to go back to Harvey Barnes.
This is my Super 6 prediction as well. Unbelievable.
Cameron should go
I'll be
back to
top of
Harvey
our
Barnes.
little league between us 3.
I think
you
you're probably top of
you
that
did
anyway.
mention that, didn't
No, I
you?
was bottom actually. I was on 2 points before this game.
I mean, I'd struggled this week.
Yeah,
Honestly, really struggled this week.
I struggled this week. As we were saying,
It's a really good goal, man.
Kai Havertz at Arsenal, a lot of their fans are now saying, why is Arteta forcing, that's a mistake by the defender, why is Arteta forcing Havertz into the team? We're a team that finished second, and now he's changing things.
Started
that
playing
didn't need to be
Partey at
changed.
right back and all that. No, do you know what, mate? I think that what we're going to find out very soon about Arteta is who exactly is he? Because if he is honest with himself, I think he drops Kai Havertz. And history has taught us that he can be a very ruthless manager. You think about what he did with Aubameyang. We've seen him get rid of players, maybe even prematurely. So he could do that. But I also think there's a chance that when a manager becomes so determined to not be proved wrong that they commit to that player. So they start Kai Havertz again. They start him again. They back him, because to not start him, to admit after 3 games that he needs to be dropped, makes a mockery of the acquisition in the first place.
I obviously agree with you and agreed with you on your Havertz points at the time. Just to play devil's advocate here, is it a bit unfair to say that after 3 games?
Well, Adam, it's not unfair to say it after 3 games because, as you pointed out there on the overlap, we said it before he kicked the ball for Arsenal. Like I remember having that conversation, and both Carragher and Neville seem to kind of not get on my back in a aggressive sense or anything like that. They just both seem to passionately disagree with what I was saying.
I think what Arteta's trying to do, I can kind of, because what he's done is he's put Thomas Partey at right back, who I think, he clearly was trying to sell him at some point, and then that didn't go to plan. He didn't leave. Maybe his plan was to buy a new right back or something.
But the baffling thing is, the Timber injury has been an issue for them as well. Yeah. But the baffling thing is, through Arteta's brilliance, if you want to spin it that way, or Ben White certainly deserves credit in this, through the combination of the two, Arsenal have manoeuvred and manufactured one of the best right backs in the league in Ben White. So just stick with that.
But he might argue you want to be a centre half long term.
Sure.
I don't think he's happy at right.
You know,
back.
one of the things that haven't worked though for them, I think, like Saka, what he used to benefit from really well was Ben White getting beyond him. I don't think Thomas Partey tries to do that. And I think what they've done is they've tried to change the way they play. Arsenal fans can correct us if we're wrong in the comments. And in like filling in, like with Declan Rice there, he's really good defensively, but he also presses forward. You have Thomas Partey there who can tuck in midfield, but he's playing at right back. You're having all these players so that when you've got 60% possession on the pitch, you're trying to get more attacking players into those attacking areas. They're probably trying to, because where did they lose it last season? Like we said, against West Ham, Southampton. So maybe they're trying to think, get more goals in this team, get more attacking.
But they didn't lose it because of the lack of goals that they scored. Like, they scored 3 goals in that game at home? They scored 2 goals. They scored 2 goals away at West Ham. Like, they were scoring goals. Goals wasn't the issue.
Taking Gabriel out, what have you made of that?
That doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy. They lost the league last season because they didn't have a spine, and Partey was part of the spine. I think they improved this season by having Rice and Partey and figuring it out. And then you bring on Havertz with 20 minutes to go when you're winning the game. Havertz brings no urgency, no adventure to the game, and it's been a complete and utter disaster. And the reason it has been is because the levels that City have set, one of the great sides ever to come out of the league, already Arsenal feel like they're behind. They're playing catch up already. And I know it's crazy saying that. And for the last 30 years of Premier League history, we'd never be saying that in August. It's crazy. But the standards that City are setting, it's absolutely crazy. And Havertz has been a massive handicap to them.
Havertz is a problem. He is a problem now. And that's exactly what he became at Chelsea. And that's the thing that doesn't make any sense about the signing. How can you sign a player who so drastically failed at Chelsea? It's all very well to spin it. And I'm sure now that the comments are going, he won you the European Cup. He didn't. He scored the goal in the final, and I will be ever grateful for that. But Chelsea were a terrible team with him in the team. Every time he started, he would cost Chelsea massively. When did he turn up? When did he grab the game by the scruff of the neck? So for Arteta to identify him not only as a good player, I don't really see how you can do that, seeing his form at Chelsea for 3 years. People will talk about what he did in the Bundesliga 4 years. You're like, hang on a minute. Got 3 years of data in the Premier League. Yeah. But how can you see him playing for Chelsea and go, not only do I think he's a good player, but I'm going to redefine him as a midfielder. Nothing about Havertz screams midfielder. Think of all the attributes. Just really basic. Let's just be really simplistic about football here. What do you need to have? I'll ask you to tell me one thing, right? What do you need to have, Buvey, to play central midfield in the Premier League? One characteristic.
Bursting runs through the lines.
Okay, you don't have that. One characteristic to play central midfield in the Premier League, just one.
Yeah, fight.
A fight. Yeah, be able to fight. I would say that's the first, and certainly doesn't have that. Like, this whole myth as well, because of the way that he plays this kind of languid style, people kind of see him, I'm sorry to do this, but they kind of see him as a bit Berbatov-y. Like, his touch and that. Touch is crap. Yeah, touch is crap.
Slows the game down.
Mate, he doesn't have a good touch. You think he has a good touch because, well, people tell you he has a good touch, and also because he's quite tall and fluid and whatever. You think he doesn't have a good touch.
There's one quality, just to be devil's advocate, I'm 1,000,000% on your side, is I think he's got good close control. I think he can get in between little moments and kind of flick it 1-2s around the corner.
You're pointing out good characteristics.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone.
I'm just trying to say there will be Arsenal fans. There'll be Arsenal fans saying that we're not addressing the one point that Arteta did think that in a side with far more possession than Chelsea, a Chelsea side that have struggled in the last couple of years, and they're more of a defensive side for sure. He thought at least that Havertz would be someone that could be the extra man in midfield, that could be on the end of things, get into the box and score goals. It's not happening. Of course,
what he's never going to do. And this is the weirdest thing. Generally when you sign a player, the player, look, I understand that it's a squad game and you sign players to elevate the whole squad. But generally speaking, you can see why you sign someone. So if you think of any signing, your club signed Kovacic, you can see why. You can see the hole that was vacated from maybe Calvin Phillips not working out and then Ilkay Gundogan leaving. A midfield was needed. Kovacic, you get it. You can debate how good Kovacic is or whatever, but you can see why the signing happened. Mason Mount signing for Man United. Again, you can debate, but it's obvious why you signed him. Whether it works or not is a different conversation, but it's obvious why you signed him. With Havertz, firstly, if he's going to play in the front three, he's not better than anyone that gets in the team or someone that doesn't. So he's not better than Trossard, right? So he's not. I think Trossard should be starting, right? I don't think Martinelli's playing particularly well, but he's not better than any of them. And then you look at the midfield. You're dropping Partey, who obviously...
I don't think they're dropping Partey.
No, they're dropping him out of that position.
Because he kind of has to play at right back because of injury as well. But I do think because they've got.
No, you could play Gabriel. You could play Gabriel and put Ben White back
there, yeah. Or Kiwior and play Ben White in his position out wide. Like, there's loads of answers.
I do get what you're saying, though.
And Tommy Asu's back fit as well.
Yeah, there are answers that aren't this. There are answers that aren't what he's doing. And I don't... Do you know what?
Very open as well. Rice, Erdegaard, and Havertz.
There are some managers, and I've seen it. I mean, there's countless managers that do this. You know, when everyone's screaming for something particular to happen. So dropping Havertz is the thing now. I've seen managers do this time and time again. They won't do the thing that people are asking for because they are principled and they want to be correct. But Arsene Wenger did it for years. Arsene Wenger stuck to his
stubborn, innit? No,
stubbornness.
great managers are stubborn.
Yeah, they're stubborn. And I think it'd be really interesting because when Manchester United line up against Arsenal, other way around, Arsenal line up against Manchester United, if it's correct and fair, Havertz is dropped. Yeah. But if Arteta is making a point, if he wants to make a stand, Havertz.
I think his level was so poor. I mean, there was a moment against Fulham where he gets the ball and he kind of passes it back. It nearly goes out of play. Nearly. I think
the
Kirill
reason
keeps
it
it
never
in.
made so much sense for me was the fee was everyone spends big money, but you've put a big fee on him. He's on relatively high wages compared to most of your squad, and he doesn't improve your first 11 anywhere. Now you could argue he gives you depth, but you haven't signed him for depth. He's not better than Erdegaard in the 10 or the 8. He's not better up front than Gabriel Jesus or Nketiah. You can put him in the wider attacking positions, but that's not his position. He's not better than Saka or Martinelli.
No, I think
it was just the heads. Yes, he might fit into what Arsenal do better than he did at Chelsea, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a good signing.
I think it was influenced by Vieira's failure last season. I think he wanted Odegaard and Vieira at points to play. I don't think Vieira worked. Obviously, he's had a slight uptake in form recently for Arsenal, Vieira, but I think there's a world where against the Fulhams of the world, he wants Odegaard and Havertz or Odegaard and Vieira. For me, I'm biased maybe because I really like Emil Smith-Rowe. For me, is that Emil Smith-Rowe back a couple of years ago for Arsenal was an option, but at the moment his level's so poor he cannot be starting against Man United.
I saw a debate with Robbie. Robbie Arsenal. Right, I saw him having a thing on the internet, and the two kids were arguing, and one of the kids was so blind he kept going, "He's in an Arsenal shirt, and you back him, and whatever," and this other kid was going, Kai Havertz ain't good enough. Like, he needs to be dropped. And this other kid is going, you have to play him. It's 3 games in. You have to back him. He's wearing the Arsenal crest on his heart. You have to, hang on. We don't have to be as blind as this. Look, of course you pledge support during the game. Don't boo Havertz when he's on the pitch. Yeah, you've had him 3 games.
Arsenal fans will do that.
But after the game, the geezer who was basically going, I don't think he's good enough, was correct. You're allowed to say that after the game. Of course. You don't have to just be blind and tribal and go, Havertz is brilliant. Because he's got an Arsenal badge on.
All great managers have had flop signings, by the way. And Arteta's had a lot of good ones. But I think Man United had Jemba under Fergie. And we had Bravo with Guardiola.
Mate, there's loads. Do you know what I mean? There's loads.
But Arteta,
Guardiola,
by the way...
bought a whole new defence, didn't he?
And a lot of them struggled. Yeah. The big one for Arteta, he's not Guardiola. He's not Ferguson. I don't think he ever will be. He hasn't got enough... This issue he's got in midfield, it might cost them a league already this season, and then it's another year where they don't win anything major. I don't count the FA Cup as that. If they win the FA Cup or League Cup, it's not enough. They spent more than City in the last 3 or 4 years.
And the trouble is, because of the standards and the sort of redefinition of what Klopp and Guardiola have done to the league, you can't be dropping points at home to Fulham. You just can't, particularly against 10 men Fulham. From a winning position.
You're 2-1 up.
You're from a winning position. You just can't. Guardiola, and let's remember that Arsenal so far, I said they'd win the league. And on some level, I think they still will. I still believe that they can get it right. But they really, they now need to beat Manchester United. There's no two ways about it. They have to beat Manchester United. And realistically, you don't, it's at Arsenal.
Emirates, yeah.
It's at Arsenal.
You take Havertz off, you put Rice in there, you put Partey back in midfield, and then you put Gabriel centre half, and you put Ben White right back.
That's why
with Tommy Asu left back.
It looks so easy, doesn't it?
When we ranked teams' midfields, and we I went, Arsenal's 8. A lot of people went Arsenal's top.
I said his second.
Arsenal's could be top.
Is he onside?
It's 2-1.
They've won it.
2-1.
That's my score prediction on Super 6.
Is it?
I am the
Can we verify that? That's mad.
The Conqueror of...
Oh, wow.
We ate the scars.
But this is the kind of result Newcastle owners not happy, would not be happy with this.
I can't believe it. I've taken the lead. I feel like Jurgen Klopp. I've taken the lead on Super 6.
It's a big win, to be fair.
Back-to-back losses against
You know
two
what?
teams. That's a massive win because it's totally
I don't want to see Liverpool winning, but Newcastle deserve it. They deserve to get knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah, I back you. Yeah, 1,000,000%, mate. Yeah,
I can't stand
annoying.
They're the worst. You know how like when City win,
Darwin Núñez, match winner.
All due
the old
respect.
cart horse,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah, yeah.
but like when City win things, we don't really care. Like,
Yeah.
no one bothers us.
Yeah.
Apart from Buvey, like we don't care. If they were to win a League Cup, they'd be the most unbearable twat.
He's miles
Newcastle.
on. He's miles
Miles
on.
on. It's a great run.
And the finish
It's a
again.
very good finish. Keeper, though.
He was getting in these
Great for
positions
a
last
cart horse,
season.
eh, Booth?
Yeah, but we all say things that we regret, like Rory's poker comment earlier. I mean, I'm sure
I
he
do
regrets
regret that now because I
Yeah,
didn't think
no.
it would affect you. So
No,
I'm
no.
actually. Do you know what I was thinking? God, I better have a word of it. I'm really sorry about that.
No, I'm only joking. But that's a fantastic finish.
Mate, that's 2 goals that he scored. Both excellent finishes. Both in off the post.
Very
in fact.
clean
Hang on a
as
minute.
well.
Both of them have gone in off the post.
Have they? Yeah.
It's a fantastic result.
If he buried all the chances he had last season, he'd be on 40 goals last season, all comps. He got in so many positions.
I can't believe this is smash
They're going
and
to
grab,
score
isn't
again
it?
here.
They are.
Going to get a hat trick.
They are. Salah's off.
That's a hard ball.
Bad pass.
That's a cart horse
It's a
ball.
bad pass from Núñez. He
Look
should
back.
dive into the corner now.
Hat-trick.
Though. Go into the corner.
I wish I put in my fantasy.
Go into the corner. Just to confirm, that must put me because none of us had a prediction correct in terms of scoreline
I
until
had-
now, did we?
Oh, not a correct score.
No, this is my This is my correct scoreline.
And at full time, we will take a look.
Look at that from Trent. Trent's pumping his arms at the Liverpool fans. Unbelievable.
It's believable. I mean, a football player pumping.
No,
his
I'm just
arms.
saying, I'm liking the energy from Trent today.
Well, I mean, he was having it with Gordon as well. It'll mean a lot more
Yeah.
to him, won't it? You know, when you've been having a bit of.
But why didn't Newcastle just control this game, get on the ball a little bit?
we
play it
didn't
side
hit
to side?
9K. We didn't hit 9K on the
It's
Super
horrendous,
6.
isn't it? Yeah.
That's a shame. Hang on a minute, I'm smashing this up.
We've been sold out by the OGs.
That's unbelievable. We didn't hit it.
Newcastle.
Wow.
Haven't
do I
got a
get my-
free kick there. They tried to win one. They will have a throw in though. Have they got enough time to take it? They've taken it. The time is up at the moment, but as we've seen, referees are adding
Yes, I
time
did
on
look.
for
I got it
added
right.
time. Newcastle
5
have a free
points.
kick about
You put
40
5-0
yards
City?
out wide.
5-0 City.
I did too as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
In the wide areas. I did 2-1 Newcastle.
I did 2-1 Liverpool. I can't believe it.
Is Jason Tyndall watching this? I wonder. He shushed Jurgen Klopp a minute ago. Did you see that?
Did he shush him?
Yeah, he shushed him.
That's
Yeah, you
terrible.
would
That's
though, wouldn't you?
terrible.
It's embarrassing.
That's
isn't it?
terrible.
Guy got sacked from
Nick
Bournemouth
Pope-
in the
Not
championship.
Pope's up.
Go on, Pope.
The smoke is
Go
rising.
on.
Do you know when the keeper comes up like this? I always
what the
want.
hell's just happened?
I
there?
always want when the keeper comes up like this. I always want the team to score from like their own half. Like I want Pope to come up, the ball to drop to Jota, and he pings it from there.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate whenever someone scores from inside their
Good
own
ball.
half. Ruins.
God, Nick Pope don't know how to
Ruined
jump.
Beckham's
Jump like a
legacy.
fish.
He landed on his head that then.
That's not a ball.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird.
2 defeats out of 3 games for Newcastle.
Going
back to back.
down, going down.
They didn't manage the game at City 1. They didn't manage this game very well. 2 different situations, one away and home, but poor.
Mate, this is the kind of run, and these are the kind of results that the PIF will be looking at. Going, what's Luis Enrique?
Does Mancini lose us?
There's Luis. Yeah, exactly. Is he still at Italy?
He's left Italy. I think he's a free agent.
Ooh.
I might be wrong.
It's a huge
Hasn't he
win
gone
for
to Saudi
Liverpool. That's
Arabia?
over.
He might be going to Saudi Arabia.
That is a
yeah.
huge win for Liverpool. Absolutely massive. Statement victory. Incredible. 10 men. Got Virgil van Dijk sent off. Losing the game at a tough... Oh, this is... Yeah, that's the reaction.
Is this the start of
Trent
something special?
Alexander-Arnold going mental. That is the reaction that you expect.
It's the kind of result that kickstarts
this is
a
why Sky
campaign.
get it so wrong. Cut away from Eddie Howe. Everyone knows Eddie Howe's upset. Show Liverpool fans in away and
Yeah.
going bonkers. That's what everyone wants to see now.
That
Shout
win will
Liverpool,
feel
actually.
so good. Being down to 10 men.
Oh, if you're away from home
1-0
now, this is a
down.
dream. In and away, and
Gordon crying. Look at that, beautiful.
Yeah, he's just brought the Everton factor with him there, innit? To the like that is what you see from Everton in the derbies
that's
against Liverpool, innit?
snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah. Liverpool have unfortunately won. I wanted a draw, but Newcastle losing is
Away
funny.
as well to do that at St James's
Mate,
Park.
it's massive. It really is massive.
Mentality monsters, Liverpool.
You can't-
Unbelievable.
I mean,
Are you
let's
saying
not
that seriously?
Get carried away.
That is a
No, I
that's
agree.
the kind of victory
I
that's
agree.
like,
I just didn't
if,
expect you to
if,
say
all,
it
if
like
all
that.
your ducks align, wow.
Yeah, that is actually
If
that result.
all your ducks align.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? If that that is the kind of result that could define a season. That is a kind of
It could
performance.
kickstart something, but we've also seen plenty of these results.
They'll finish
that
above
didn't.
you. Actually, Newcastle will too.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they will. You're lucky to come top 5.
Newcastle finishing
So
outside the Europa League.
Newcastle beat Villa, right? Let me get this right.
5.
Newcastle beat Villa, then lost.
Yeah.
So Villa will be above them. Gosh, you wouldn't have thought that after the first.
And that's why people shouldn't overreact, eh? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you're subscribing, please, as well. Get hitting that subscribe button. We recently hit 153,000 subscribers. We want to hit 200k ASAP. Remember, we are brought to you by the wonderful people at Super 6. It's free to play. You could win £250,000 every single week. It's free to play. You got to predict 6 scores. If you get 6 correct score lines, you could win £250,000. And if you're in our league, the mini league code is Club23. Every single week, whoever finishes top of that, we will give you £100 classic football shirt voucher. It is that easy. Now, we've got the presenter table. I haven't done well this week. I already know it. I've got 4 points, but I have done better than Buvey. So that's the real competition. Rory has finished top of the league this week.
That's 2 every week.
We'll have to check out we'll do the current season standings later on at some point. But well done, Rory.
Well done, mate. I was congratulating you. You were punching down. I was in the relegation zone on Super 6.
You were indeed, and long may it continue. Darwin Núñez was the match winner today, but you lot were the winners for watching the club. So make sure you're subscribing. And I think we are out of here. Remember, podcast Monday. Be there or be square.